Hey, so I know y'all want a story time on me and how I grew up and how I had for my first baby at 13. So I'm gonna start off again and say hi. My name is Nadine Brown. I'm a mother of five, a 23, a 20, a 16, a 8, and a 1. So I grew up in these projects over town. My mama was on HUD. I did grow up with a mom and my mom and my dad in the same household. Um, My mom has five children. My mom has three girls, two boys. My daddy has six kids. My daddy got two girls and four boys. My mama first child is not with my dad, but her last four are. And my daddy had two kids on my mom while with my mom with two different other women's, and I have two. That's how I get two extra brothers. So my dad was a good dad. My dad was a good provider. My dad was also on crack. But he wasn't one of those crackheads who like skinny and look like they on crack. He was very healthy, very like big eight, you know what I'm saying? He was good, he got money. My daddy did a lot of illegal things to get money. He used to rob, sell drugs, and the list goes on and on. My daddy passed when I was 8 years old. I'm now 37. It's gonna be 20. This year is 29 years. He been gone. My daddy passed by getting shot up. His ex-girlfriend set him up by a man he kept robbing. So his ex-girlfriend set him up by a man he kept robbing, and this man was a big time drug dealer known from the Grove or whatever. So they shot my daddy 38 times. They shot my cousin who was with my dad, I think only two times or whatever. So yeah, I lost my dad. My dad was a good dad. My dad was someone who, I used to like, how you wake, like you sit up in the night, you waiting on him to come home. Like he was that kind of dad. Like the things I do hear bad things about him, but I never experienced those things of my dad. So I only want to talk about what I experienced. So my daddy died when I was 8. After my daddy passed, maybe like a year later, we end up moving in the city area. We end up moving in the city. I was still in elementary at the time. I was going to Lily C. Evans. I was there in my last year. After Lily C. Evans, I went to Charles Drew Middle School. When I got to Charles Drew Middle School, I ended up meeting all my friends. Well, Ollie was already friends with them because Ollie was already there. The whole clique was older than me. I was the youngest one out of the clique. I don't want to name everybody, but I was the youngest one out of the clique, and everybody are still good friends. Like some people, like we really don't talk to, but some people that like we still keep in touch with or whatever the case may be. So my sixth grade year, I ended up meeting my baby daddy, which is my first baby daddy. His name Julius, and he's the father of my first two children. So I ended up meeting him. We was talking, and he was one of those little boys who dressed it really nice. I felt like his mom took great care of him. We kids, so we don't really know what taken care of really is or whatever. My mom didn't used to buy me and my sister much, but my sister used to steal. My oldest sister, her name Candy, she used to steal. So with that being said, she had like all the raw clothes, all the raw shoes, but she was very, very, very mean to me and my sister Ollie. But she really couldn't fight, so it was like whatever was what was clever with us. Like she didn't really want us to hold her shoes, her clothes, but she used to let her boyfriend at the time, which is her baby daddy too, hold his sister hold her stuff. Like they used to call for her shoes and her clothes, and she used to give it to them like with no problem. So when me and Ollie started noticing that, like, so we used to go in there and take her shit. Like, do what? Like, what you gonna do? So we was ready for whatever, you know what I'm saying? And plus we fought a lot, like in school, we fought a lot. So that wasn't really nothing. So yeah, so my sister used to be mean to us, but we used to still steal her shoes and clothes. So that's how we got away. In middle school, was still being like the cool kids because we was still looking kind of fly, but my mama really didn't have no money. My mama did eventually end up getting a job, but she couldn't keep a job for too long because she would complain about her back hurt and this and that and this. And we grew up on food stamps, Medicaid, and so forth and so forth. So everybody in the clique was like, had their boyfriends, was having sex or whatever the case may be. And I wasn't at the time, but of course, I want to fit in, you know what I'm saying? So when my baby daddy came to me and he was like, if you love me, such and such, we'll have sex, whatever. At first, I was like, like kind of standoffish, but he kind of like got like a little distance from me, like a little bit, like he wasn't calling as much. And I'm assuming he was mad that I didn't want to. So eventually I did. I ended up getting pregnant with my first child, which is Janae. She's 23 years old now. Um, I was going to Copeway. That's the school that allowed the mother and the baby to attend school as long as the mother was still in school. So things was just getting tight. Like a lot of stuff was just getting tight or whatever. So I end up getting through that, and we end up moving back to the city. And I end up going to J.R.E. Lee. I end up going to the opportunity school called J.R.E. Lee, or whatever the case may be. I met friends there, but I was the only one in school with a child. So I try to keep my baby private, from like people who didn't know me. I wouldn't tell them that I got a baby. And plus, my mama used to keep her a lot, so that wasn't really hard to do or whatever, until like I got like in my mid seventh grade, and I was like, man, damn, man, I had end up getting so like mid seventh grade, like I stopped going. Like I go when I feel like it. I get on the train like I'm going to school and go to my baby daddy house. My mama watching the baby. It had done got bad or whatever. So of course, eventually I end up getting pregnant again. So I end up getting pregnant again after I had my second son. My brother, so how I was really getting by taking care of my daughter before my son got here. My brother was getting money. His name Mark. He gonna see this, gonna be like, don't do it. Yeah, so my brother was getting money. My brother was a great uncle. Like he brought my daughter everything. Like I'm talking about Power Wheel Christmas, clothes, shoes, you know what I'm saying? But I got my own little money on the side too. I used to do little hair, do plaits, little ponytails, like around the hood, I did plaits and ponytails and stuff. So that's how I had I got my little outs in or whatever. And I was friends with the girls in the hood, so like all of them, like I was the only one like really didn't have much for real. Like I ain't have no too much of clothes, too much of shoes. My baby was good, and honestly, that's what really made me happy. As long as she was good, I was good. And then by her being good, it made it look good on me. So it wasn't like they was picking on me or anything or leaving me out. You know what I'm saying? Because my baby took the place of me. So I end up having my son. And my brother, he was getting tired. My mama wasn't working. Nobody in the house was working. Everybody was living off him. So you could tell at some point he was getting aggravated. He was getting tired. I had met this white girl named Betsy Tina, and we been knew Norma. Norma is my sister best friend, so she the reason why we met Bessie and Tina. So when we met them, now we learning a whole different ball game, like how to hustle. Like they was selling drugs, stealing, like anything you could name. Them white girls was getting to the bag. You feel me? And we end up like me and my sister end up becoming friends with them. Then Janet ended up coming along, and it was just a ball game for itself. So we started stealing. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm at a point where I'm hustling. I'm buying shoes, and we going to like, we stealing from little stores like Rainbow, Children's Place, Jamboree, like little stores like that or whatever. So life starting to seem to be coming up for me for real, but I'm still with my baby daddy who ain't doing shit. Like he keeps saying like he finna make it happen, and still nothing. So I had end up getting my first job at McDonald's, which I had to catch 2 buses and 1 train to get there. Mind you, we staying over town, and the McDonald's I was working at was on 183rd and 27th Avenue, which was in Miami Gardens. So that was a headache in itself. My mama really, I kind of had like really started like seeing my mama true colors. But before I say that, let me say this. My mama really raised my first 2 kids, and my mama loved them. Like still to this day, my kids have nothing but good things to say about my mom. I just feel like, with me, I felt like it was a lot of resentment, like a lot of embarrassment, like shameness and all that with me. Like I was only 16 with 2 kids, and none of my friends ain't have kids. Like, so it was bad. It was bad. For me, it was bad. But Hey y'all, so part two. So I left off when I started to see my mama true colors. Like I said in the last video, my mom really took care of my kids really good. I don't have no um questions about that, but it was more so for me. So when I say that, I mean like before, like when I was like starting to like boys and stuff, she would always say, "Oh, you better get some motherfucking money out them niggas. You better get motherfucking money out them niggas."
And that's why she was 16 with two kids. I feel like anytime a person or a child has a kid, like somebody that young, it has to be something weird going on in the family. Somebody doing something to somebody, because what will cause a child to have two children by the time that they're 16? That just tells me a lot what's going on. And hear what her mom said. I'm happy I heard her say that before I even jumped to my conclusions, because I was gonna already hint that mom was on some BS because, but this is crazy.
Yeah, when you're that young, the things that adults say, kids don't interpret it the same way. Like I remember my great aunt told me like if you want something, like just or she said if you're gonna like give it out basically, get something in return. And I was a kid. I'm like, what does that even mean? So it's like she was probably thinking like, what? Like get something out of them and ended up getting out two kids. But when you are young and you have children, you don't really think past, okay, I'm gonna have this baby and I'm gonna just be with this man. Like you don't think when I go to school, who's gonna watch the baby? When they're hungry and I don't have no money, who's gonna feed the baby? So the fact that her mom like stepped up and was a parent to her children, basically, that shows a lot about her character. I was a young mom too. I had my kid at 17 and I was still in high school. Thank God my mom helped me. So
Her
I
mama
definitely,
had to step up. Her mama was the
yeah.
reason she had these damn kids. Like if you the influence in the household, maybe no dad is there, whatever the case may be, you're the influence, and you're telling your daughter to get it how she live and make sure you getting money out of these dudes. Women who give that type of advice are terrible women. Like your auntie's horrible, no offense, but if that's the advice she was giving people, and yeah, where is the fathers at? This is why you just send them with the fathers if they still around and alive. Like y'all will fight hard to keep kids away from their fathers just to end up with a child that's sick. No offense to her, I guess at the end of the day, she's just a product of her environment. I grew up in the exact same environments that she's talking about, so I can understand how easy it is to be preyed upon when you are in these environments and have parents who don't give a fuck pretty much. You'll end up with 16, high school with two children. That's wild. And I'm not judging her at the end of the day because she was a child. I can't judge somebody on their actions based on what they did when they was an adolescent, because I feel like you just a product of your environment at that time.
So with that being said, as time went by, like now I'm trying to grasp it, trying to understand it. She was dealing with a boy, because he wasn't a man, a boy that was literally probably younger than my oldest brother. And literally he was on crack. I mean, sorry, he was on coke. He was snort coke, smoke weed, shit like that. So, and he wasn't giving up shit. Like he wasn't doing nothing. So I was working at McDonald's, catching two buses and one train. Every 2 weeks I was getting paid. Every 2 weeks she would take half of my paycheck. No understanding, no nothing. Like it doesn't matter whether it was Christmas, whatever. She would half of my check. And if you know, McDonald's really wasn't, the check wasn't no more than five something. So every 2 weeks I had to figure out how to split that money between me, my son, my daughter, and make the best of it and try to get back and forth from work. So like I said, my brother was more the breadwinner of the family at that time. He was paying all the bills. He did have start like getting like really, really like standoffish. Like he didn't really want to like be around too much because I mean, if you want to say about it, was leeching, you feel me? I think I was the only one at the time had a job. My sister didn't have no job. My mama didn't have no job. My brother, my youngest, not he's not the youngest. Yes, I don't think he's the youngest. I think he the second from the youngest, but his mom was going through stuff, so he was staying with my mom and our family. So it was a lot on him. It was a whole lot, and I understand. But with all that taking place, I feel like everybody anger was taken out on me. I felt like I was the black sheep of the family, for several reasons. You know what I'm saying? My brother would really take all his anger out on me. Like I won't say take all this. Yeah, he would take it out on me only because I was the one who talked back. Like, you ain't finna talk to me any kind of way. Like, I ain't care. Like, what's up? Like, so my mouth was very slick, and then it went from me disrespecting him at some point to that shit drifting off to my mom. So it's drifting off to my mom, and I'm talking to my mom in any kind of way. I'm kind of resenting her a little bit. So mind you, I'm still with my first baby daddy. So during that time, all this going on, my second supposedly baby daddy was in my life. His baby mama would fight a lot. Like, she was one of those baby mamas who just cooked. Like, it doesn't matter what he told her, how he told her, she just was in the picture. You know what I'm saying? So how I met my second baby daddy was one day he sent the lady Didi to me and asked me what size shoes I wear. So I told her I was like, I wear size 4. So 2 days later, she came with some Jordans. She knocked on the door. She was like, here you go. And I was like, who these from? She was like, he don't want me to say nothing. I was like, okay. Got the shoes. 3 days went by. She brought more shoes for me. So after that, she ended up coming to me like, what size your kids wear? So I told her what size Janae and Poppy wear at the time. And I'm gonna say like a day later, maybe 2 days later, she brought my son, my daughter, and me a pair of shoes from him. Still didn't tell me who this boy was. So he seen me walking to the store or whatever. So he was like, you like the shoes? And I was like, huh? He was like, you like the shoes? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you welcome. I was like, oh, you brought these? And he was like, yeah. I just blushed. I just blushed because, mind you, my baby daddy, I ain't get that. I mean, he had shit to give. He was getting a check every month. His mama wasn't giving him shit. She hated me. So she was doing literally the bare minimum out the check for my baby. She was doing literally the bare minimum for real, for real. And so that was kind of new to me. So at that time, he still ain't trying to talk to me. He just was like, I was like, thank you. And that was that. You know what I'm saying? So now at the time, like now I'm starting to kind of like see a little different or whatever. So I wanted different. So as me wanting different, you know what I'm saying? I end up hollering at my baby daddy like, you got to do something or I'm about to hit it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I can't do it no more. Like, I can't take this shit no more. Like, you ain't doing shit. Like, everything coming off of me. So this was the Christmas. It was Christmas coming up when I said that to him. Mind you, I was young. I'm young. I'm 16 years old. So now I'm learning how to like prioritize myself. So I had started doing Christmas like 6 months in advance. So this particular Christmas, I was turning 17. I turned 17. My birthday literally like 2 months before Christmas. So I was turning 17, and I was like, I already had a plan like, I want my kids some jewelry. You know, all my friends they had jewelry, but I didn't care for me any of, but I wanted for my children. So I started Christmas like all my paycheck. I wasn't really too much buying the kids no shoes. You know, my kids was really looking out or whatever. So I need to. So I was saving my money. I went and got Janae the girl boy chain, the girl boy bracelet. I brought another bracelet with some charms on there, the girl boy earrings, and I brought Poppy the Cuba link chain and a Jesus face piece. So after I did that, I was able to with the next check I was able to get one power wheel. So I got Janae power wheel, and then um me and Marquise had kind of started talking around that time, and he ended up giving me some money, and I ended up going to get Poppy Power Wheel. So now Ed Hardy jumping like this when Ed Hardy first came out, and True Religion was jumping too. So my next check I had went and got both of the kids some Timberlands, black Ed Hardy shirt with the gold trimming, with the blue jeans with the gold stitching on there. So that's what they outfit. That Christmas I ain't had nothing to wear. I ain't had my hair done. I ain't had nothing, but I was good because my kids was cool. So now, we in a bottle or whatever. I'm getting angry because everything I would buy my kids, I can't find it. Like either this person baby got this on, that person baby got that on. I would come home like finna take my kids somewhere. My baby jewelry gone. This person I put their kids on my kids jewelry like, and then now I'm
It would be all hell in the house if that was me. I'm not gonna lie. That's probably the most craziest stuff you could possibly do. If you know that these are gifts for my children and I catch your children, But I'm telling you, this is how I was growing up. I don't know why we all felt as though what's mine is yours, except when it came to our stuff, but not when it came to the adults things, you know. But it's just like I just hated that community style living. Like if I you can't never get ahead in a house like that. It's like a crab full of like a what they call that a bucket of crabs, like bottom of the barrel ass thinking. It's like crab in a bucket thinking. You know, it's like as soon as you get something good, is people there trying to take and tear down. What she should have did, honestly, what I learned to do, and I'm not gonna. Some companies, you know, they allow you to do layaways, and you can keep your products or the stuff you buy in the layaway of the company. Say, for example, Walmart. Walmart has a layaway where you can, you know, get 2 months in advance, and you can just kind of keep the gifts in there, and they also wrap it for you if you pay for that. I started doing stuff like that because this type of stuff would have had me in prison.
Yeah, living with a bunch of people is hard. They stealing. Then when you putting food in the fridge, they eating the food in the fridge. Like everything's for grabs. And I definitely get why the brother disses himself. I know it probably he felt like he had to provide for his family because his dad passed away. But now it's like every time I come in the house, all of my siblings are asking for something. I'm not gonna have nothing at the end of the day if I keep handing out things. So I know it probably broke his heart to tell him no because at the end of the day, he's like the man of the house. He's paying all the bills.
Yeah.
So she, at this point, once you are old enough and now she's getting a check, she should have been saving to move out because you got to do what's best for your kids. And other people taking their stuff, and you're just trying to get better in life. It's time to go.
Yeah, I can definitely understand the big brother point POV because that's pretty much was my POV. Once you start getting the money in the family and being a breadwinner, they start taking advantage of that. You will never. It's like it's almost if they don't want you to save to leave. They just want to. It's like I don't understand. Some of y'all might understand what I'm saying, but you already know if you grew up in a big family and y'all struggling and you got the one with the job, you are carrying Christmas, you carrying dinners, you carrying electricity bills, you carrying water bills. I know some people be like, well, you should because you know you live in there, but the goal is to get out of here. You know, if I'm living here and I'm sleeping on the floor, or I'm living here and I'm sleeping on a couch, that's how it is for most of us. You think because we all living in this house, only 3 bedrooms with 10 kids in it. That's how my situation was. You know, it's 10 of us, 10 kids. You know, not all my mom kids, but mama had a lot herself. Plus my auntie kids living here. You know, we got a lot of kids in this house, and to be the oldest, and it's like they just take advantage. You know, I was getting checks until I got a job, and as soon as I got a job, the government stopped cutting me checks. So you know, it just was weird. Type, I hated that. That's why I don't live off government today, and I advise y'all like if you can do it on your own, do it on your own because you don't want to live with this type mentality for the rest of your life. Like you're gonna really end up just ruining it for your children moving forward, and they're not gonna like you. They're gonna just leave and leave you by yourself.
I'm scrapping up like I'm ready, like I'm coming home. I'm furious, like I'm coming from work. I want to take my kids out, like we finna get on the train, go to the movies, but I can't because every fucking thing gone. So that's when like shit has started like getting real heated within the family. So I'm cussing my mama out like, you don't give a fuck. All you care, as long as I give your little money every month, you don't give a fuck about me. Or that's when she was like, oh, you don't give a fuck about yourself. Like we going back and forth. So Ollie get in and now me and Ollie going back and forth. And it's a roller coaster now. So my brother came in the house around that time and he was selling out. They ain't really kick me out, but I kind of like went in my room and kind of like noticed like I want different. Like I want different. So mind you, I already gave my keys my number. So now me and my keys talking. My keys called me. He was like, you want to get away? And I was like, yeah. So he came and picked me up. We didn't do nothing that day. But I ended up telling him I needed some money to get my hair and nails and stuff done, and I need to get my baby hair done. So he ended up giving me money. I went and sent Janae to Tamika to get some ball plaits, and I went to Nicole and got my hair done. Then I went and got my nails done. Later on that day, he picked me up. We went out, we hung out, and then we ended up going to the hotel later. We got to the hotel. He was on beans at the time. It's a drug used to call beans, like Molly's and shit. So he couldn't get up. Like he couldn't get an erection that day. Like he, for some reason, his thing wouldn't get up or whatever. So mind you, I'm still young, still kind of getting new to this. And I was like, oh, it's something wrong with me. And he was like, no, like it's just me. At that time, I did not know he was on drugs. So that at that time that happened, we end up nicking up again. I think maybe the next day, and we end up fucking. So we end up fucking, at the hotel, and it was all cool. I'm still dealing with my baby daddy though, for real, but I don't really want to be there because he ain't got shit going on. So my baby daddy ended up, how me and my baby daddy broke up, he ended up catching me in a bed with my keys, which is my second son, my third child, possibly baby daddy. So he ended up catching me in the bed with my keys. He pulled out a gun. He about to shoot us. So me and my keys run in the bathroom. I run downstairs. And I'm like, Mommy, he's trying to kill me. He's gonna kill me. And it went on from So yeah, this me doing part three over. So like I told y'all, my baby daddy had caught me and my keys together in the bed. So he tried to like whatever, but he ended up leaving me. He ended up leaving me at that time. But I was all good with that because I wanted to be with my keys. My baby daddy ain't really had no motion. He wasn't really talking no money. It wasn't really nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So my keys had two baby mamas before me. The last baby mama was the baby mama who like took me through hell and back for real. Like we would fight a lot. Like she was one of those. She was older. She was way much older. I'm 37. I think she's like 35 or something like. I mean like 45, maybe 49. I don't know. She in that age range, but she used to think like she gonna bully me into leaving him alone. And at that time, that was the best thing that had done happened to me outside of my baby daddy. So nah, we ain't doing that. And like I told y'all already, I already used to fight a lot. So whatever what was clever with me, but you ain't gonna bully me. So now it's like, Marquise dealing, he was dealing with the both of us. So she ended up getting pregnant. And with a daughter, she ended up getting pregnant with a little girl. And he was still Marquise was still messing with other girls, but I was literally the main center. But he was getting a little money, so I ain't really have too much to kind of really worry about. Like he was still taking care of the kids. And on top of that, like I said, I was making my own money. I always been a little hustler. Doesn't matter how I got the money, I was making it or whatever. So he ended up going to jail. Marquise ended up going to jail, and in the mix of him end up going to jail, I had he had called home. He had called home from jail, and he was like, Twan finna bring meet you to give you some money. Keep in mind, y'all, Twan is my fourth child daddy, but I didn't know him then. So Twan ended up calling, and they called Twan Bumpy. So Twan ended up calling, and I was like, hello. He was like, this Bumpy, and I was like, who? And he was like, this Bumpy, this torn. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. He told me he was gonna call. He was like, you want to meet me under the bridge? At the time, Torn didn't know me. They just heard of Ollie little sister. So I was like, yeah, I'm finna come now. So he ended up meeting me, and mixing him meeting me, he like, you Ollie little sister, huh? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, damn, man, I've been looking for you. And I'm like, how you been looking for me? Like, you don't even know me. You didn't even know how I look. So he was like, shit, man, what I heard was enough. So mind y'all, my name wasn't even ringing bells, but like that time, like we used to walk a lot. Like everywhere we went, we used to walk. So I guess Bush to be like, oh, our little sister look nice or whatever the case may be. So he ended up was like he gave me $500, which was more than what he was supposed to give me. So he was like, I'll put a little extra in there for you, you know what I'm saying? Do something nice or whatever. So I was like, cool. And he was like, hit the number up. And I looked at him like kind of like with a nonchalant look. So he was like, oh, I'm gonna call you like that. So I was like, okay. So like later on, like that day, he ended up calling me. Like we ended up just chopping it up. We ended up just talking or whatever. It wasn't really nothing big, nothing too serious. So the next day came early that day. So he called that next day and he was like, what you finna get into today, sweetheart? And I was like, I mean, that was kind of weird. He called me that, but I was like, whatever. So I was like, nothing. He was like, come take a ride with me or whatever. So I ended up taking a shower, putting on a little dress. My hair wasn't done. I had a setting couch, but setting couch was in then, so it wasn't like a real bad thing. So I had him to stay in camp, and he came, and I got in a car with him, and he took me to Bayside. If you know Bayside, you know Bayside got Kids Foot Locker, Victoria's Secret, so forth and so forth. So he had brought me and my kids some shoes. He had brought me some panties and a lot of stuff. We had went to Guess. Like he had done spun a little bag or whatever, and I was grateful. So in the mix of him taking me home after we went shopping, we went and sat down and got something to eat, and then he dropped me off home. So when as he dropping me off home, he was like, "I can come get you tomorrow," and I was like, "Well, I need my hair done." And he gave me some money, but he gave me more than enough. He gave me enough, more than enough, so I end up getting Janae hair done and my hair done. So I hit Tamika up like, I need another appointment for my baby or whatever. So Tamika put her in, and I went to Nicole that next morning. So if you know, then you know Nicole was that girl back then. So I ended up going to Nicole and got my hair done. I was excited to see Twan. I was excited to see him because I liked him. So Twan ended up calling me the next day. He ended up calling me the next day, and we was talking, and he came and got me later on that night. So mind you, I ain't even 18 yet for real. So we tried to get in the club wouldn't let me in. We tried to get in the casino wouldn't let me in. So he get back in the car like, man, how fucking old are you? And I tell him my age, and he found that so funny. He was like, it's all right, man. He like, let's go get something to eat. So we went and grabbed something to eat. And he was finna drop me off like a gentleman, like a good boy or whatever. But I was like, nah, I wanna vibe with you. I'm gonna go with you. So we end up going to his grandma's house. So his grandma stayed in on 20th Street. So we end up going to his grandma's house. We went in his room. He had a room there. He was staying there, I guess. So we end up going to his grandma's house, vibing. We watching TV. We talking. I'm gonna say like 30 minutes into the conversation, I looked over. Torn knocked out, so he was tired. But I end up laying down after a while. I did feel him get up, maybe like around like 3, 4 a.m. But I didn't know that that was heroin hours. So he sold heroin. So that was his stomping ground time. Like I guess that's when the cluckers was out or whatever. So he went out. So by the time he came back, it was maybe like 6, 7 a.m. in the morning, and he came back with breakfast. So we ate breakfast, and he dropped me off. Torn didn't try to touch me. Torn didn't try to come on to me like that. Like he was, cool or whatever. So he ended up dropping me off, and he was like he was gonna call me, and he never called. Like maybe like a month during that time, one of his homeboys ended up seeing me and was like, "Oh, Bumpy asked about you," and I was like, "Where he at?" And he was like, "Man, the feds picked him up." And after a while after that, I had found out that I think they gave him like 10 or 11 years or something like that.
Damn.
Wow.
Wow.
She too moved by money. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now I understand, like growing up in those environments, like
I
you
don't,
be broke for so long. It's like, man, anybody who can, you're victims. You're victims in that environment. Understand that if you got your kids in an environment where everybody's messed up, everybody's struggling, and you know your kids or some kids who need stuff who don't have stuff, just know you are setting them up to be a victim one day, especially your daughters, because these older men, they know how to play the game. You thinking, oh, he's a gentleman and oh, he's nice. This is all part of the grooming stage, baby. You are under 18. He can take his time with you. He know exactly what he doing. This isn't, he know you desperate. He know you gonna be there. And I'm just talking to the old version of her, but I know that honestly now she's 37. So she's probably lived past this, grew up past this. But I'm just highlighting something that we all should start to pay attention to, especially with our children or with our young teenage adults. If they're money hungry, you got to be careful. You got to teach your kids like how to get money and how to, structure. I don't know, they bills and budgets, stuff like that, because a man should not be able to just come over, give you some money, and that's just the I'm gonna sleep with him moment. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give my baby. He cared about me so much, he gave me some money. Like it's just that mentality is how you end up in this situation. She's not even 18 years old. This grown man is grooming her. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like in her mind, she just, oh yeah, he loves me, he loves me. My family don't love me. Of course, it's gonna look like that when you grow up in a single family home, a single mother home with no man, and all your mama's teaching you is to get what you can out of a man. This you're raising your daughters to be prostitutes. Let's just be for real, like to sell their cat. And then when they start doing it, and they start having kids, y'all the same ones, the same mothers, the same fathers that's judging them. Oh, you being fast? Are you being this? You think you grown? This is like you set them up for the play. That's why I'm like, man, thank God for existing, because a lot of us fall victim to this and not even realize life has a greater purpose to it, and that our mothers and fathers are not the rule books to life, and that we don't have to follow their methods, especially if their ways leading us to hell. Like, let's be for real. Like, you're leading me to a life of hell. I would have stopped listening to my mama. We got to rewrite. We got to. I need a better understanding when it says like, "Don't forsake our mother and listen to our fathers." What if your father and your mother is like this, and they're leading you down a bad path? Do you still respect and honor and listen to that? That's just crazy to me.
Yeah. When you're a kid and you really want something and your parents don't give it to you, as far as like clothes, money, the luxury things all your friends are getting, it's like predators are waiting for that moment to give you it because it'd be something little. It don't even probably cost much. A couple clothes, a couple things for some shoes. They just waiting. And then the fact that the first baby daddy told this man to go over there and look out because this is his baby mama, and this man did more than that, like you're being extra, now you're flirting with her while I'm in prison. Like there is no loyalty here. And then I get, she's just looking for her next bag. Did she really love her first baby daddy? Probably not. She just loved what he was doing for her. So now she's looking at it like, oh, well, now I have a new potential income coming in if I start messing with this guy. And the fact that he didn't even ask how old she was, yeah, red flag for
He
sure.
heard everything but her age, huh? He knew everything
Yeah.
about you but how old you was. These older men be knowing the game. Don't That's why I need to be careful. Women who like to date older men is like, yeah, understand. A lot of them men know the game. They know how to play. And then the reason why they messing with you is because you're just easy. You're easy.
And that's probably what he heard in the streets. You got a couple cash, she gonna give you some. Figure it out. It rhymes. But yeah, like, oh my goodness, this is just crazy.
What are y'all thoughts so far? We got a saga in this one, y'all. This is a long story time.
So after I found out they gave him like 10, 11 years, now I'm back to the hustle. I'm back to the hustle grain or whatever. But I end up meeting Eddie. Eddie is my second son, other possibility dad. So I end up meeting Eddie, and me and Eddie was vibing. Eddie was cool. Eddie was very, very, very laid back. Like he was laid back, like very quiet. And if nothing else turned me on about him, that turned me on about him or whatever. So Eddie had a little burgundy Monte Carlo or whatever. So in due time I end up finding out that Nikki, who actually introduced me into the church, and I got baptized at that church, and you know what I'm saying, she used to try to like put life into me, but when you're a kid, you're gonna do what you want to do. So I end up finding out that she messed with his uncle Emmett. So long story short, um me and Eddie vibing, and we was already fucking. Eddie was looking out. Eddie was looking out for the kids. Like Eddie, we was good. So, me and Eddie was the type like we didn't talk on the phone every day. Like we didn't sit on the phone for hours. How boyfriend and girlfriend do. We didn't do that type of shit. So in my head, I'm like, we just good. He just like me and I like him. Like we cool. I didn't think that we was girlfriend and boyfriend. So me and my sister and Ollie, we end up going to this little club, and Eddie was there. Mind you, we already dealing with each other. So I didn't know he was gonna be at the club. He didn't know I was gonna be at the club. So we end up running to each other at the club, and he was there. So I end up going home with him that night, and we both was drinking. I had got fucked up. I don't think he was drunk, but he was drinking too. So I can't tell you whether he was drunk or not. But in a mix of time, I went home with Eddie, woke up to, all my bottom part was off. And I asked him, I was like, hey, did we do it? He was like, yeah. And I'm like, well, did you use protection? He was like, I ain't have none. So when he said that, I'm like, damn. So he ended up dropping me off home. I ended up getting a phone call from my keys like, hey yo, I talked to the lawyer. I'm gonna be out tomorrow on house arrest. So my keys get out. So I called Eddie like, what's up? Like, what we doing? So Eddie like, what you mean? I'm like, is we together? Cause my boyfriend about to get out. He like, if you don't know we together, then we ain't together. Like, what the hell? And he hung up the phone, and I ain't hear from Eddie no more. Part four. So I'm gonna try to get as much as I can get out to part four because I'm a little tired, y'all. So Eddie done went his way because of the phone call. Me and my keys together. My keys cut the band off. Now he back selling drugs or whatever. So we back at our cool place. He back getting money. So we back like vibing. I'm constantly, getting my hair done. You know what I'm saying? I'm dressing up because he getting a little money or whatever. So I found out I was pregnant at like I was like 3, 4 months. So when I found out I was pregnant, I was like 3, 4 months, and I didn't tell Eddie because I honestly did not feel at the time that Eddie had no space. Like Eddie wasn't a possibility. So as time went on, my don't knew about Eddie. My never heard of Eddie. Um, Nikki, I'm gonna say I'm about 6 months, 7 months. Nikki put up on me. Nikki, she is Eddie uncle baby mama, but she knew me before all of that. Like she the one introduced me to the church. Like I got baptized through her church, like everything. Like Nikki, like, Nikki was really helping me, you know what I'm saying? Like find God, but honestly it's in your own time. And so Nikki had done wrote up on me and was like, Nene, let me ask you something. So I'm like, yeah. So she like, that's Eddie baby. So I'm like, no. And immediately when she said that, flashbacks came. Like, I'm like, damn, somebody finally figured it out. So when I had felt that, my key still didn't know nothing about it. His mama didn't know nothing about it. So I had end up no wait. My keys had end up going to jail maybe like um I'm gonna say like a month before I had the baby or whatever. So his mom played a really big part in the baby life. Like she was a great grandma, God rest her soul, Miss Dee Dee. She was a great grandma. So she played a really good part in the baby life. She would get him, buy him clothes or whatever the case may be. I had done got a job at I had started working at the barbecue pit. So, you get paid mostly off tips. So I was making good money then. I was still friends with Bessie and Tina and all them, but I kind of really didn't want to really do that too much. Like for real, I really kind of wanted to go the right way, and I tried. It worked it for a little bit, but not too long. So after that, after I had my second son, so now I had done gained a little weight, like butt and titties and all. I had done start forming out like more than I was, and now I'm hanging out. We going to the clubs, we going to live, we going to clubs, like we hanging out. And my first interaction with exchange for money was like probably like once that had turned like a year, you know what I'm saying? This guy, I won't say his name, but he also is Bumpy friend, which is Torn is Bumpy, which is my daughter daddy. So he Bumpy friend at the time. Well, they still is friend, I think, right now. But he hit me up, like, he seen me. And he was like, man, put your name in my phone. So shit, I'm single, I'm vibing. So I put my name in my phone. He was like, man, how much you want for it? So he was the first one to like ever come at me so like like bold, like how much you want for it? So shit, I told him a price and he paid it with no problem. And I did it, but it was like, I don't know, that was the fastest $350 I ever made in my life, like for real, for real. So at that time, $350 was a lot. So I had done did it with him or whatever. And he started like calling very, very often. Like it was like
Listen, I just want to say that this video is for educational purposes only. We're not promoting this. All right. So much other ways to get money. I could sit here and give y'all 1,000 reasons of why I understand why she doing this, but at the same time, this is not the way, y'all. This is not the way. I was already getting hints that this was the case in the beginning, but I'm not gonna jump the gun anymore because y'all always like to say, "Oh, you think everybody just selling cat in 304?" And She was bold enough to actually admit it. A lot of you women on these story times be pretending like y'all ain't out here flying out to do. Y'all trying to make it look like a business, like it's just professional. Oh, we linking, he paying for my time, and not. You're selling cat, and it's sad because it all stems from something to me. Like this is just a product of her environment. This is what a product of my environment looks like. And it's sad because even as she tells the story, I don't hear her saying like, "Oh, I'm a product of what." It don't seem like growth yet. Kind of seems like this is what I've been through. Hee hee ha 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 ha. I'm just telling y'all this is for educational purpose because we gonna learn what not to do moving forward. That's how I grew up. When I was around people like her or bad other people who doing whatever they want to do in the streets, I learned what not to do through them. If you see people constantly going to prison, it's going to motivate you to not want to go to prison eventually. If he doing this and this is what's calling him to go to prison, why would I follow in that path? Women I feel like just grew up a lot different than men when we in those environments. Some just want to be a part of the team of winners that they consider winners. And those dudes continually get caught, continually go to prison. Every man that she has been with right now has been doing drugs, selling drugs, or tricking out here just buying women. And that's dangerous. To be sleeping with men who are buying cat is not a flex. That is very sad. Y'all need to go get checked out immediately. That's wild to me. Anything?
This man is just pretty bold. I did not know it'd go down like that.
You didn't. Shit.
The transition? Oh yeah, how much for it?
This is how it's been seeming all this time to me. Like
before it was more like, okay, the guys was taking her out, giving her little stuff here and there, and then eventually it came to that. But for a man to just approach her and like that's that's so disrespectful. But I mean, they probably know from around the corner what's she been doing. So I mean, I guess this is kind of like free game.
Yeah, she was excited to get to the point. That's how you know that was always the goal with every man. It's just like, yes, finally, I don't have to pretend like I like you, and we can fight. Just give me 300. I'll just get straight to it. And it's sad though. I'm not. At the end of the day, it's very sad. I'm sitting here looking crazy at this woman because at the same time, it's just triggering in a sense. It's like, man, as black women, as just women in general, we got to do better, bro. We got to make sure the next generation of women understand what caused her to be this way and try to avoid those things. Like once you give away your cat like this, your value just go down. I'm just gonna be real with you. Y'all like, oh, no. Once a man realized he can that was disrespectful, yes. But look how she handled the disrespect. Just with open arms and a big smile on her face. Now every man will come this way. And then eventually we get to a point where we got 6 kids and no man wants it. No man cares for it. Somebody gonna buy it, but you should be questioning if you want to do that with that person because why is he buying it at this point? But that's just my take at the end of the day. I'm not trying to judge her at the end of the day. I appreciate the complete transparency that she's given as a storyteller. It's just a lot. It's a lot. Seems a lot of playing around in this, but I want to bring seriousness to this. This is not a game.
He was like, we was linking up maybe like 3 times a week for real, for real. So I was linking up with him. He ended up, I guess, niggas talk worse than females. So he ended up pushing my name out in that category. Like, yeah, you got the money, she ready. And he was right. So now around this time, you know what I'm saying? I had ended up getting cased up on the case. I had got caught stealing and I had ended up getting probation or whatever. So I'm working, but working wasn't really doing it. The probation people was getting on my nerves, saying I gotta pay restitution. This. So now I'm back in the streets. Like I'm like, fuck that shit, man. I'm back in the streets. So as I get back in the streets, my name not ringing bells in the city, but over town, it was kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because it was niggas that I never even seen before. Like the nigga who I was dealing with had passed out my number, and you know what I'm saying? And they'll call, I'd be like, who is this? So, I mean, I said I was going to be honest, and I am my true self. So that ended up where I had started making the most of my money at like one part of my life. Like I was just fucking for money. Like literally, like they liked how I look. You know what I'm saying? I didn't talk. Only how people knew was because they talk. Like niggas really talk worse than females. So they was really like talking, like, and after they talking, this nigga done heard, so now he want to see what I'm about. So that just made me like a good amount of money in that time frame when I was doing it. So I had fucked around and met this guy named Mark. He passed away, God rest his soul. He's a twin. So I messed around. I met him. He a Haitian. So when I started talking to him, he was on a different type of spectrum with money. Like, he was doing fraud. So that was on some shit that I ain't had, I never seen. Like, I'm talking about counting fingers, counting money till my fingers hurt type shit. So now, like, I'm ready for whatever. Like, I'm ready to hit the fuck the whole crew. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the money was there, but he really liked me. And honestly, me thinking that because my name rings so much bells over time, my mind so short. I'm thinking everybody knew what was up, but he didn't know. Like, he didn't know that about me. So after that, he ended up showing me a whole different side of life. Like, I got my first Gucci bag, my first Louis bag, Infinity Coupe G37, apartment, all this, and talking to him in the spans of probably 3 months for real. So in the mix of me dealing with him, I had done forgot to go report, and they sent a warrant out for my arrest for violation of probation. So me and Mark sleep home. Um and my mom get a call early in the morning. It was like 5 something. It was real early. My mom was like, "Oh, they come here looking for you. They say you got a warrant out for your arrest. You violated probation." And I'm laying next to Mark, so Mark hearing it. So of course, he a Haitian. He good with the computer. So he goes in the database. He see that my restitution was $4,500. Um, he give me the money. He like, go pay it. So I take the money, but in the mix of me taking the money, my sister Candy end up calling me. So mind you, we kind of astray, but not so much astray, but we still talking. So my sister end up calling me like, she know I was like at this time, everybody know I get money. Like they know I'm on different time zone. Before I even met Ma, like I was fucking, I'm on a different time zone for real, for real. So she called me like, oh, the St. John's call her for her apartment. She trying to figure out where she finna get the money in for her moving deposit. So I'm still young. I was like, shit, I got money, but it's for the probation people. And they was telling me like, child girl, the most they gonna want your ass to do is 30 days and they gonna squash that shit. Like, I won't pay their ass if I was you. So that's what they saying. And I'm listening, so I'm like, I'm gonna give her. So I gave her the money for her to move in her place. She moved in her place or whatever. And I'm still with Mark at the time. So a little shortly after that, I ended up finding out Mark had a girlfriend, another girlfriend outside of me. We favored alike. We looked alike really much. So he had a type because we favored. He brought us the same car. We had same purses and everything. Like you could tell like when he go in the store and get hers, and he got me one. So me trying to like be a big girl, I'm like I ain't playing second to no nigga, and he was like, shit, well you could go. And that was the end of me and Mark. But even though he said that and did that, he still looked out for me. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent. After that, now I end up meeting this nigga named Dada. It's another Haitian. So this like take one booming now. So I end up meeting this nigga named Dada. And Dada brought a different type of hate, like with girls towards me. Part five. So I'm dealing with Dada. So now, I think he had a girl. He was messing with some.
Okay.
I'm just trying to understand where are the kids in all of this? And I ain't even trying to be funny, but she running into a lot of criminals. Like,
Where are the kids in this situation? Where were your kids? I know the first two kids were with your mom, and I get it. You're under 18, but when does common sense typically kick in? Is that around like how old were you when you had common sense, messy family? When did common sense just start kicking in? Because for me, it started kicking in as soon as I got in high school, sophomore year, probably around that time. Common sense just started to flood my mind. I just couldn't imagine constantly being in a situation like this and just be like, okay, next nigga. Okay, next nigga. And it's like, then you have the audacity to think you hold value in this situation. Like, well, you going to choose me or her. It's literally like five of you on the block right now. Wow, I don't have to choose nothing at this point. It's disgusting. It's very disgusting. I'm gonna say it. That's very disgusting. I understand this is trauma at the same time. It's just maybe it's just how it's being presented to us. But it's just where are your kids really? I'm with that one. Where's your kids at this time? Like you're just popping out kids. Like
Yeah,
it
and then it's like
just
you're gonna take your sister's advice and say, "Oh, well, you're only gonna get 30 days in. 30 days without your kids? Like they already don't have a dad. It's like you just was like, oh, okay, I keep the money and I do this time without them.
sometimes the flags be right there in your face, and then you will leave that conversation thinking that that family member loved you.
Not the one that was just
I,
using bro for the same thing. Like, come on now.
she just finessed you out of your money to pay your lawyer. I'd have been done with you after that moment, honestly. Like you can't teach this. This is so you rather go to prison for 30 days or jail for 30 days than take the free money I gave you and pay it and be with your children. It tells a lot about you in this moment. You know, I can understand now why your mom is so frustrated with you. It's
And
like
I,
this is annoying.
yeah, and I'm thinking too, he probably let you go because you hot. If I'm doing all these illegal things and you on probation and now you got a warrant out, oh yeah, you can go. You
Yeah.
making a spot high.
Yeah, you ain't got no pull to be doing this. I mean, I don't know where this story is headed at the end of the day. Where is this heading? When are we getting to the I don't hear no remorse. I don't hear no remorse. I mean, are y'all hearing remorse in this story? Are y'all feeling bad at this point? I don't even know how to feel anymore. I'm getting a little irritated with the story because this is like, girl, like, damn. Okay, we get it. You selling cat, but okay, let's just stop talking. Can we just skip to the point where it changed? I guess. Like, when did shit start to get better, or did it get better? What are you currently doing today? I'm just curious at this point.
Somebody before me or whatever. But that brung a different type of hate. Like so now they got their leg clicked, so they clicked up and it's hell raising. And the crazy part about it is it was bitches who I grew up with the click that hell raising against me. Like they on a different type of level. So I'm like, yeah, bet. So everything was everything. I had a best friend. I'm not gonna mention her name. I had a best friend. We was good. Like, I mean, we was going through a lot together, and it was all good because I felt that as long as we was together, I was gonna be good. Like I had my girl with me. Like I was straight. So with all that being said, I'm still on the run. I was staying with my cousin Oompa at the time because Dada was like, he had a lot of girls, so he didn't really want me at his house like every night. So I had to kind of try to find somewhere to stay, in the mix of all that. I was still taking care of my kids very good. I was dropping my mama money off every other week or every week or something like that. So however, I ended up staying with my cousin Oompa and I hated it. I'm grateful that she let me, but my cousin is the type like she tells everything, like she talks a lot. So it's kind of like, everybody seen me come from here to back all the way down. And a lot of people was kind of like happy about it or whatever. So I didn't like it at the time. So my friend ended up hitting me up like, bitch, we just got a little apartment, you could just help pay the rent and come stay here with us. So I'm like, cool, bet. So we get there or whatever. Shit going all good, shit good until shit wasn't good no more. So basically like it wasn't a bedroom set in the room. So Dada had brought me a bedroom set. Like he had done like fixed it up or whatever. And a mix of all that, like she hanging with like um people I used to be friends with that I ain't friends no more. Because fuck it, I got like it's I don't want to say names, but she ended up going that way, and I was cool with that. Um, I end up still vibing out or whatever, but I end up getting caught finally. I was happy because I laid down. I was tired. My body was tired. My body needed rest. And when they caught me, I laid down. I end up getting 30 days like they said I would. I end up getting 30 days to squash the probation. So I did just that. My bad, y'all. I didn't squash the probation. I end up doing 30 days and got reinstated. So they reinstate my probation with the same terms or whatever. So now I get out. So I pulls up to the house like a few days after I get out. So I'm there to like get all my clothes and my bedroom set and stuff. So she comes to the door like I know we wasn't like eye to eye, but I didn't think we was beefing for real. So she comes to the door like, oh, you gotta call the police and let the police escort your stuff out. So I'm like, damn, what's up? So she was like, just do it or whatever. So I called the police or whatever. Of course, the police gonna tell you to stand over here while they go talk to the other party. So the police come back and tell me that I don't have nothing in the house. Like nothing in the house belongs to me. Mind you, I don't have nothing, no clothes, no shoes, no drawers. I don't have nothing because I'm just getting out of jail. I ain't got shit. So I'm really like, you finna really do this to me? Like, I'm like, okay, whatever. Keep the bedroom set because obviously you needed it. Keep it. Like, just give me my clothes. They still won't give me the clothes. They won't let me come in and get nothing. So I end up was like, man, fuck it. So I end up going home on demon time, like for real, for real. But then I end up finding God again. Like I end up getting on my knees and I end up praying, like praying harder. You know what I'm saying? And the mix of me getting out. Then before I left, my kids had shoes, clothes, like they shouldn't want for nothing. I got out to picking Janae up, man, and Janae's shirt looked like he ain't had done been ironed. Her hair, her plaits was like they had to been in so long to they like it was a mess, man. I just sat in the room, man, and I cried because I'm like, damn, man, like I don't know what to do. Like I don't know where to go at from here. Like, I was kind of like sort of like really, really losing myself for real. And I was trying to figure out how to find myself. Like I had done just lost my best friend. She decided to go elsewhere, you know what I'm saying? Not only that, she decided to be as petty and take my clothes in my bedroom set. So now I'm at my mama's house sleeping on a blow up bed and shit just rough. So I used to walk to the church like down the street from the house, which is close by the police station. I used to walk there at night and just sit on the stairway and just pray. And for some reason I thought I was getting closer to God that way. And I kind of was, but a lot of stuff come for a turn. So I end up meeting this boy named Baby and this girl. And damn, I hate that I said his name, but it's already there. But they end up showing me this other route to get some money. So it was like taking purses, like not snatching them, but like how when you at the mall, like you leave your purse down and she creep the purse and we end up going to Target. And that put me in a dough, like for real, for real. So I had done got back on my feet. So I had ended up getting back on my feet or whatever. So now I'm back taking care of my kids like I would normally be. I wasn't really down for too long. I had ended up making so much money, so I had done got me a little apartment right down 55th and Northeast 55th, which is in La Haiti. It's a little one bedroom. So I fixed it up, you know what I'm saying? Decked it out. And me and Tayana became real good friends because me and Tayana was on the same type of time. And like Tayana was on getting money, fucking or whatever. And I was on that because I had 3 kids. Like I had to figure it out. So around this time, I'm still dealing with Dada, but not as bad. But my brother ended up going through some legal shit or whatever, and the police would stop him so every so often, take all his money or whatever, not knowing that the feds was building the case on him.
This just makes me think back on when she helped her sister to get a place. It's like when you get out, you had nobody to turn to other than your mom. Where was your sister at that gave you this place? She didn't let you lay your head there. And then it's like you were giving your mom all this money for your kids and they were supposed to be straight, but when you get out, your kids are looking like they weren't even like cared for. So this just goes to show like when you're up and you're helping everybody else, when you're down, are those same people going to be around? And it sucks that she had to find this out this way.
So I end up getting a phone call from my mom, like, Ma, want to talk to you. I'm finna give him your number. So I was like, who give my number? So he called me. He was like, I need to come stay with you for a little bit. I don't know how long, but I need to come crash at your crib. So he ended up coming, and we was good. We was good. We ended up making it work. we didn't plan it, but it had done got to the point where whoever get home first, that's who get the bed, and whoever get home last, you got to take the couch. So that was working out for us pretty good. Okay, it was like all right. So I had to stop having company to the house, so I like go with them or whatever. And that went on for about a good 6 months. So 6 months, I'm paying all my bills. I'm doing a damn thing. I'm still fucking for money, but I'm also like hustling with baby them and shit. So I ended up getting a phone call that the feds had got mobbed. So after I got the phone call that feds had done got mobbed, that's my first time ever dealing with somebody like my brother, anybody that's in the feds. So I'm like, okay, how do I put money on the phone? That's when I find out, no, 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 you got to put money in their account. And they do it. Like they pay for their own phone calls. They do all that and all that. So now it's really crunch time because the breadwinner gone. Like, so now, like, everybody, like, you know what I'm saying? Shit started to get rough from them, like, started to get rough for my mom and them, like, for real, for real. I mean, like, lights getting cut off, like, it had done started getting bad. So I'm already making good money, like, fucking and, doing the Target shit. So I lend a hand over there. So, like, I'm paying the light bill and shit. Whatever needed to be done, I was doing it because, let alone my 2 kids was over there, too, for real. And then Dada was with Eddie. I'm gonna talk about that in another break that down. But yeah, so I end up getting cased up with the purse shit. I end up getting cased up, set in jail because I was probation again and I had picked up a new case, but I only did 30 days and I got out. Now I ain't on nothing. I'm scot free. Like I ain't on shit. So now we gotta pay to rewind back. Um I end up no. Eddie's sister ended up hitting me up on Facebook Messenger and was like, that's my brother baby. So I wrote her back like shit, that's your brother. So she ended up writing me back like a lot after that was like, can you bring the baby by to see my grandma? Okay, y'all, wait, I was moving too fast. So Eddie ain't had done came into Dada life yet. The baby Dada was here, but Dada was staying with my Keith's mama at the time. So I only did 30 days. When I got out nothing. But when I left, my kids had a closet full of new clothes. I had clothes, Louis purses, Gucci purses, another bedroom set, whatever. So I got out to nothing, basically, my mom and them had done, sold all my shit or whatever. So, like I said, I was going through that little drought or whatever. I was trying to find God again. And I was back trying to find God again. Then I had woke up to no, I'm lying. I had my Keith's mama had done dropped the baby back off to me. So I was getting myself together, I was coming across some little dollars at the time. And I ended up taking my boys to the flea market to get their haircut. So I was at the flea market getting my boys a haircut and Quana, which is Eddie's oldest sister, I ran into her at the McDonald's at the flea market. Mind you, I don't know her. I never seen her before, but she knew me. She knew of me, and she knew that everybody knew of the baby, but nobody told me or asked me. So I was wondering, like, why the fuck this girl keep looking at me like that? So I'm in the line. She in the line. I got both of my kids' hands, and she just keeps staring at me, like staring at me. So she went her way. I went my way. That later on the day, I got a Facebook messages from Quita, which is Eddie, other sister. She was like, that's my brother, baby. So shit, I'm like, shit, ask your brother. So she rolled back and was like, do you mind letting my grandma see him? So I was like, yeah, when? Mind you, I ain't got Eddie number no more. So I'm like, yeah, when? So she like, my grandma gonna be over here so tomorrow at such time. So I agreed to the meetup and I came. So when I came to the meetup, it was like a whole family reunion. Everybody was there. It was him, his grandma, his daddy, his sisters, his cousins, his aunties. Like everybody was there trying to see this mystery baby. So with that being said, like I kept trying to figure out like where my baby get these bow legs from, but I never had really paid attention to Eddie Daddy like the 2 or 3 times I seen him or whatever. So I got out, I got the baby, got him out the car. I walked to Eddie, like it was like they was standing like a little duplex type of thing. Eddie and his dad was standing on this side, and Quana and Quita was standing on that side. So I got out and I walked straight to Eddie. So I walked straight to Eddie and I'm like, what's up? He was like, if you want, you could just leave the baby and you could come back a little later and get him or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. So y'all, Eddie didn't have no kids. My baby would be his first son, his first child. So I left the baby. Um, I had to end up going to do a run with a nigga, so I had done set up a date with a nigga. So I had done went and made that little money, went home, took a shower, then came back and got my baby. It was probably like 4 hours later or whatever. So everybody was still over there when I got back. So me and Eddie didn't talk much. Me and Eddie didn't talk much when I picked the baby up. We did exchange numbers, and he was like, I'm gonna call you tonight or whatever. So I got the baby and I left. But instead of him calling me, he ended up texting me. He was like, can he come back tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, what time? And he sent me a time. And the next day I took that back. So I took that back the next day. And before I left that, I wanted to get an understanding with Eddie. I'm like, so what's up? Like, how you want to do the DNA? You want to do it through like child support, like through the children and family with me, you and the baby, or you could take the baby yourself and you and the baby can go do it. So he was like, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know by the time you come back and get the baby. So I left. I ain't had nothing to do that day. I just went home with Janae and Poppy. I left, and later on that day I went back to get my baby, and the grandma was there. It wasn't as many people there today that day as it was yesterday. So I went to go pick up my baby. Now, me and Eddie, we stepped to the side and we talking, and he was like, I'm like, so what's up with the DNA? So keep in mind, I never, ever, ever went in the intentions with saying Eddie is my child's father. Eddie had an understanding that I wasn't sure. His mom, his grandma had an understanding. Everybody in his family had an understanding what was going on. I don't know if they know exactly what was going on, but Eddie knew what was going on. So he was like, my grandma said she think it's my baby. So I ain't even finna go through all that. Like, I'm a basically like I'm gonna take up these responsibilities. I'm like, hey, you sure? He was like, yeah. So in the beginning of Eddie like stepping up, I think that he kind of really wanted the relationship back, but I guess like when people start hearing shit, he felt like I was too far gone, because at one point when he first got back in Dada life, like he would take me and Dada out. Like when we go out to eat, it'd be me, him, and Dada. Like when he take Dada, he like, you want to go? Like it'd be on that type of time. And then at some point, it just stopped. It was just about him and Dada, him and Dada, him and Dada. So I was kind of cool with him kind of leaving me out, like, you know what I'm saying? I did start it back liking him, because, when you go outside, you kind of see like, damn, this nigga's still the same. Like, I did have started back like him at some point during that time, but he ain't really he wasn't really fucking with me, and I was cool with that. So it went from us both like jugging Dada from back to forth to he felt like Dada was more safer and more stable with him and his grandma. And he was right. So Dada ended up eventually moving in with them. So um it had came like I still was an active parent. Like Eddie never did anything on his own. I still made sure that I dropped Dada off shoes and clothes. Granny didn't really too much care for Dada to be with me too long.
I'm honestly confused on what happened to the other grandma that was taking care of dad at full time. Did you like let her know that, oh well, this man could potentially be the father, so I'm just gonna leave him with his dad? This whole time she thinking this her son's child. I'm just like, what is going on?
I think I'm more triggered because she just reminds me of a woman I know personally. This is just.
I'm really in awe on the fact that she just the first time that they like the son met the dad, you just left for a few hours. Like I would be so worried. I don't know if it's just because trauma in my past, But I'm not just dropping my kids off and leaving, especially if this is the first time they are meeting this person. She's putting a lot of trust in these men.
I got a lot I want to say. I'm not gonna lie because I grew up with a mother just like her, and I'm gonna tell you, my mama didn't give a damn about us. She would do the same, and I just feel like I don't know. I can't say whether or not I can't put my finger on it yet, but I don't feel like she care about her kids. I'm just gonna be real with you. You pop it at some when did what at what point is it selfish? All right, we could play the she was a victim game before 18 and she didn't know no better the circumstances. But now that we getting further in this story time, I'm just like you're selfish. You're selfish, and I'm just gonna keep it at that. Cause I got a lot more I want to say, but I'm just gonna say you selfish. That's just ridiculous as fuck.
For whatever reason, I don't know. But it's like I get that at and later on that day, Granny will call or she'll call Eddie looking for that at or stuff like that. Then I end up having to not having to drop him off, but like it was getting to be aggravated, so I just drop him back off. So now I'm barely seeing my baby, like not too much or whatever. So now I'm still dealing with Dada, you know what I'm saying, off and on. And Eddie ended up getting with his second baby mama. So he ended up getting with his second baby mama. I'm not sure what the story was that he told her about the baby, but somehow she ended up finding out that a DNA was supposed to be like Eddie. It's a possibility that Eddie not the daddy. Somehow she found out. Obviously, he had to tell her. So now, as that going on, Janae and them daddy end up getting a girl, his second baby mama pregnant. He ended up getting his second baby mama pregnant. So after that, like me and her wasn't like we not wasn't really cool, but Julius was kind of coming around a little bit while he was with the second baby mama, just a little bit. Like he'll give me like $100 here, $50 there. Like it wasn't much, but it was better than what he had been doing all those. He ain't had been doing shit in so many years. So the second baby mama ended up getting pregnant, and he ended up leaving the second baby mama for another girl. The girl from, I'm gonna say her name, the girl from hell. So that's what I'm gonna call her. So now I found out the girl from hell, which is Julia's girlfriend, hang with Eddie, other Eddie girlfriend. So now, oh, everybody cool. So now mind you, me and Eddie had been co-parenting for about a good 5 years now. I'm gonna say 5 years. Eddie came into Dada life when Dada was a little over 1, so Dada like 6, 7 years old now. So I'm starting to hear DNA more than I ever heard DNA ever before, because when I established this relationship with you, I asked you what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now I'm hearing like, oh, DNA, and then now it's like, I heard what he sent me. Marquise had posted a picture with all of his kids in a collage and put Dada in the collage. So I guess that supposedly picks Eddie off, but I don't feel like that should not have pissed Eddie off, only because Eddie already knew what was going on. But in me, because I can't say it was none of his family, because for me, you just come in the picture like, why all of a sudden DNA is being mentioned or whatever. So I was like, you know what, he tripping. Like, I ain't worrying about that. So hey, this part 7. So now I'm starting to hear DNA a little bit more than I ever heard it before. So that at touching, like talk about like almost 7, 8, 6, 7 years old. Eddie been in Daddy life. Eddie came in Daddy life at 1.5 years old, almost 2, and that was that. I didn't never hear DNA until this girl came in the picture. So now she's hanging with the Grinch from my baby dad, from Julia's third baby mama. I'm gonna call her the Grinch because that's exactly what the fuck she was. So
I'm not gonna lie. I would have wanted a DNA test. Everybody who you had a kid would should have a DNA test. If we being 100% honest, like I'm not taking nobody who out here selling cat word for shit. Now, don't get me wrong. Grandmas be knowing some stuff. I'm not gonna lie. My grandma, if y'all know, grandmas specifically be knowing when you pregnant before you know you pregnant. My grandma know you was pregnant as soon as the egg hit the embryo or the sperm hit the embryo, whatever it hits. As soon as that motherfucker would have won the battle, my grandma would be like, "Yeah, you're pregnant. You wouldn't even have thought you were pregnant." So I understand you take him to the grandma. That's the thing. But grandma know though. Maybe the child was his. I don't know. But you still get a DNA test because just in case grandma just a little off today. I don't know. I wouldn't trust her to save my life.
sh- Eddie's second baby mama hanging with Julia's third baby mama. And it's just starting to be a lot of mess, like a lot of messy shit going on. But you know me, like I already, like I feel like half the shit I've been through, they couldn't stand. Like I ain't on that little girl shit y'all on. I'm on some other shit. But I still try to like keep it cool with Eddie baby mama because my son was staying with them. Like I don't want no smoke. You know, when I'm beefing with Eddie, I need to be able to get in touch with somebody because Eddie gets to that point where Eddie will block my ass. And I won't see that for weeks. I'm talking about weeks or whatever. So she had done started getting weird or whatever. It had went to the point where Eddie's second baby mama, his sister done went to beefing real bad. So they fighting, they kicking Eddie in the mouth. Like it had done got bad like that. So Eddie went and moved with his auntie Shawanda, God rest her soul. So now he's staying with Shawanda. This the I think this the point that like it had got to his worst. So I went down there to Shawan's house to get the baby because I wanted to spend time with my baby. I was missing my baby. And he didn't want to give me the baby for whatever fucking reason. I don't even know what was the really big issue was. He didn't want to give me the baby, called the police. The police was like, the baby in dad custody. We can't take the baby out of dad custody and put him in mom custody. That's not how it goes. You got to go to civil court. You got to go to family court or whatever. So once they told Eddie that Eddie didn't have to give me the baby, he ran with that. So I ain't had done seen that in like, I'm going to say like a good 2 months or whatever. So when I finally had talked Granny into letting me see him that, I was missing him, um I didn't get that fully back, but I was coming around a little more because Eddie was so in tune to the girl and her new baby because she had done got pregnant. So he was like wasn't really paying Dada no attention for real. So around this time, Dada fully stand with Granny, Quita, and Quana, which is Eddie grandma, Eddie's sisters. So Granny didn't really care for me for real, neither. Granny didn't really like me, and I understood, like, you know what I'm saying? But she would call me and like keep me updated on little certain things that Dada was going through in school. So I was that parent. Like when Granny called, I come. Like when Dada get in trouble, I come over there, beat him. And Granny didn't like that. All Granny really wanted me to do was talk to him, but that was the only language I knew for that at the time. You know what I'm saying? So one day Granny got fed up. She got fed up when the school called me. Granny didn't call me. The school called me, telling me that Dada got in trouble. When his grandma come, he calmed down for a little while, but
This would be triggering me the most about parents like this. You're the reason. Take ownership. Just like we can take accountability for the reason why you are the way you are. Take accountability for the fact that you're the reason why your child is misbehaving in school. Like, come on, they growing up in a family with no mother, no father, and then a grandmother that you say love me, but don't treat me like a mother would or a father would. And it's not your grandma role to. I don't care if grandma didn't keep her hair up to date or keep her clothes up to date. Grandma's old. Grandma has already lived her life and she should be enjoying her life right now. She shouldn't be raising your children. So it's like if your children is acting up and being behaved and all you know is to beat them, and that's why. Then they go to school being abusive. I used to grow up just like this too. I'm on half day schools, y'all, because of the type of behavior I'm experiencing in school. But they don't realize it's a reflection of the trauma you're being put on at home, the abuse you're being put through at home. You only responding like this because that's how you're taught to respond. So just how she's saying, "Oh, all I know is to beat them, and that's all I know." Well, that's all your kids know is to fight and to beat people who try them and to yell at them and to lash out and to cuss and do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, seek therapy for these children. These kids need to be put in therapy.
Yeah, this kid is going through a lot. He got two potential dads. The mom only comes when he's in trouble and she's putting hands and feet on him. And
Like,
and
yeah.
now it's like he had to move environments. He's living with the dad's grandma and the sisters. The little boy is just going through so much right now. And when kids go through a lot, they do not know how to express themselves. So
Right.
yeah, you would think parents would be like, I wanted to be better than how my parents raised me, but she's just repeating the cycle, and it's
Right.
really sad.
Should have listened to your grandma. She knew that. Your grandma, older people are more, they're wise. They lived through this 100 times by now. And it's like, dude, don't put your hands on him. He barely know you. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for disciplining your children and, and doing what you feel is, I mean, you do what you feel is best when you're the parent. But at the end of the day, you're a part-time parent. Don't come over here putting your hands on somebody if you ain't in their face teaching them and loving on them. And it's a balance to this. Grandma probably got more power, which like mine's did, had more power to put her hands on me than my own mama. You gonna probably get a fight if you my mama. You gonna probably get a fight if you my daddy. But my grandma had more respect because it was more of a foundation built. My grandma prayed over us. My grandma did everything she could. So when it was time to punish us for what we've done, and it's 7 boys in this house, you know what I'm saying? 7 boys and 1 girl at that. Yeah, you're gonna respect it. I respect my grandma more, but not a mother who ain't been in my life. And then you got the audacity to come here and challenge me. You think that's cool now because they're young. Wait till they get older, then y'all wonder why they be talking back to y'all. Like, yeah, we're not playing that shit for too long. But obviously, I'm getting triggered. I'm gonna let it sit through a little more and let her talk as much as I can. But let's hope I can make it through this whole story time. 'Cause I might clip this.
He right back at it. So I popped up over there without Granny consent telling me to come. So I popped up over there, and I beat him. And Granny was really, really mad. She was like, "Bitch, don't come back round." She was like, "Don't come back round here. All y'all do is come beat him. Y'all don't talk to him. Y'all don't sit him down. Like y'all don't give him no love. Y'all just keep buying him shoes and clothes and dropping it off and keep going on about y'all business." And that had really kind of opened my eyes up to where I was really lacking at. I knew it, but sometimes when people tell you stuff, and even if it's in a mean way, you kind of sort of get it better. Yeah. So she cussed me out or whatever. I was upset. I called myself not speaking to her or whatever. She ended up getting sick. Granny ended up getting sick. So when Granny got sick, I ended up going down there and get that, bringing that back with me for a little bit. So around this time, they in cahoots, but Torn ended up getting out of the feds or whatever. So when Torn got out of the feds, we end up leaking up or whatever. We was leaking up like for his last like little month in the feds. I was talking to him over the phone, like hollering at him like whatever. So when he got out, we linked up. So when he got out, we linked up. He went to straight to the halfway house or whatever. But Torn was still like getting a little money or whatever. And I already knew, like in my mind I'm thinking like I done fucked damn near half of everybody, like Torn know who he hang around. I don't think he gonna take me serious or whatever. So when he got out, I'm on timing, like he had done linked up with the nigga who I told y'all who his friend, he had linked up with him or whatever. So the nigga asked him like, "You like her or whatever?" And I don't know what his response is. Mind you, I was still messing with the other nigga too. So he telling me like, basically like he was like, I told to him like, if you like a shit, go for what you know, because I feel like, she just was in a little hard space trying to get out of. So, but she give me like she an all right girl or whatever. So Twan, I think that right there made Twan kind of, it shed a different light on me from when Twan went to jail. So he still liked me and we were still like hollering at each other, but he started messing with other girls in over town. So they was fighting about him and all that. So I had started fucking with the dude that was staying in his auntie building. Now, mind you, this way he was getting money at in his auntie building. And my sister stayed right here. His auntie stayed next door. So I started fucking with the nigga that was upstairs from his auntie. Like, you ain't gonna play with me. I ain't, no, 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 I'm gonna show you who big. So I had started messing with the nigga upstairs. And I had started messing with the nigga upstairs. And I'm coming out of I'm coming out the nigga house and Torn getting out the car with his baby mama. But mind you, I'm thinking like they ain't had no dealings or whatever. So I ain't say nothing. I let that shit fall. I'm like, yeah, he on the list. So me and Brittany, God bless my friend's soul. My friend died over overdose. So me and Brittany in the car, so I'm riding with Brittany. So I'm like, Brittany, man, like I'm feeling Brittany in, like what's going on, you know what I'm saying, and whatever, like what I'm thinking about doing. So she was like, she went to telling me like my ears was to the streets, but not for real or whatever. So she was basically telling me like everything she had done been hearing, like what's had been going on between the girls who had it out about him or whatever. So in the mix of all that, the two girls fought about him, and I don't think he really wanted to be with neither one of them for real. So one of the girls had ended up renting Torn a car. This was around me and Twan 2 days apart. Twan birthday September the 29th and my birthday October the 1st. I think September to go to the 31st, I think. Or we like a 1 day apart, something like that. So she ended up renting Twan a car, and Twan ended up taking me out of town for my birthday, and she found out or whatever, and all hell broke loose or whatever. So now they beefing. She telling him, oh, he better bring the rental back, this, and that, and this. So I'm still like sitting pretty, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it is what it is. Now Twin had brought me some diamond earrings and a necklace with a cross on there. Some white gold diamond earrings with a necklace with a cross. So we come back from out of town. I think they had it out or whatever. So something had done happened between the girl who rented the car, her sister baby daddy. They was doing business. Something happened with her sister baby daddy or whatever, and it ended up becoming into gunplay. So right before Torn got out, I had needed to do community service hours for something. So this was around Christmas time, like after my birthday, around Christmas time. Torn was dropping me off to do my community hours, and he noticed that a car was following him, but the people was closed, so he had to take me back home. He was like, yo, when I pull up in here, you get out and you run to your right, and I'm gonna run to my left. He was like, don't ask no questions, just do it. We put up in my mama parking lot. He was like, get out, run. So I can granted the boys did wait till I ran like a little distance, and they started shooting at the car but Twan was in. So Twan ended up getting shot in his leg and I think somewhere else, but Twan blood clots was real bad in his leg, like real big, like real big. Still to this day his leg's still real big. And Twan was hospitalized for that for about 3 months for real. So after he had been hospitalized for like 3 months, I'm holding it down, like I'm fucking with him or whatever. So he ended up getting out by them shooting up the car literally in my mama parking lot. We didn't want to go back to my mama's house, so we ended up going to stand with his sister. So Torn ended up trying to figure out, like, where he put the pieces back in, pick the pieces back up in his life. Eventually, the boy who shot him ended up dying maybe like a month, maybe 2 months later or whatever. So the boy who shot him ended up passing away. God rest his soul. Um, so now he moving a little more freely, so he getting back to the money or whatever. Um, like I told y'all, he wasn't really getting money like how he normally used to. So of course I had to pull my weight up. So I hit my friend up. I hit Stagey up. So I called her like, yo, what's up? I need to make some money. So she was like, friend, man, I need to too. Like, what's up? So like, I'm gonna slide to your crib in a minute. Give me a second. So besides Bessie, me and Stagey already been getting money together. So I slid to Stagey house. We had done linked up, and Stagey brain be on a different type of timing when it comes to money. Like, you know how everybody be trying to do what everybody else doing. Like, she think outside the box, and this bitch thought outside the box. Like, I gotta be honest with y'all because this shit made us thousands, man. Stagey was like, Nene, I was sitting in there getting my nails done, and I noticed that they don't really be having a lot of polish or whatever. She was like, I think I want to take that route. I want to go get a little bit of polish and see if like they buy it. So hear me out. Don't laugh. You might laugh because at one point we was laughing about the shit. So we tried it. We tried the SCs and the D&D. You still see D&D in the hair salon still to this day, but you don't really see SC for real because nobody really get gel no more. But this was years ago, so everybody was, getting polished in. So we end up, this was when the second flea market was still open. So we end up getting a whole bunch of it, and we end up selling it to the lady. So she was asking us how much we want to sell each of them for. So Stacey tried her luck and she was like $2 a piece. So she looked at it like as if it was a steal. Mind you, polished nothing but this freaking little. Like we had so much shit. I think the first batch we end up coming out of that shit with about like 3,000. We split it in half because we worked together. So at this time, Ollie wasn't working with us yet. It was just me and Stagey. So the first day we made like 3,000. And now, mind you, we only going to like CVS's and Walmart and shit. I mean, not Walmart, like CVS, Walgreens, Navarro. We just had done found out about Navarro then. So like we hustling, like, you know what I'm saying? But nobody know because it ain't that type of hustling like everybody do clothes and shit. We wasn't on that shit. So this was more like a low key type of eating. So Torn back on his feet now. Torn ready for me to like lay back down. But I'm like, shit, like this easy money. Like I ain't ready to lay down. So I didn't lay down. You feel what I'm saying? So me and Stagey here and Ollie end up coming in needing to make some money. So we put Ollie on or whatever. So we had a good run with that shit. I'm talking about good run. We fucked around and said, fuck the flea market. We had done went up in Palm Beach. We had done like we would stop to random nail salons and ask them do they want to buy polish because we hustlers. So we had done got a little few plugs up there, like 3 or 4 plugs. So it was to the point where the plugs was calling us like, hey, we need more. And we tired, like we done made over 10,000 less a week, within a week and a half tops for real. So we're literally we tired. I'm like, damn, Stage, I'm tired. She like, bitch, I don't want them to go find nobody else. So we got up and we went or whatever. Now, now we on our trail, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we took a little break, but not too much of a break or whatever. So fuck around I think it was like a day before. It was like Mother's Day or some shit. It was something like that. We had done just hit. Ollie had done blew through her money like she always do or whatever. Ollie had done blew through her money. I think it was Mother's Day or Father. Something was coming up and she wanted to, get cute and she ain't had no money. Mind you, me and Torn still staying with his sister, but I'm still taking care of all my mama bills over there or whatever. But I'm like, how the fuck you broke and you ain't really doing shit for real? But that's neither here nor there. We end up hitting the stores again and got fucked up, man. We got fucked up. Mind you, my mind kept saying, don't go, don't go. But I don't know. I just ain't wanna be left out on that lick. You feel what I'm saying? And the man was calling, he was like, he need like 10,000. So I definitely didn't want to be left out on that lick. So I went and we end up getting cased up off me. So we end up getting cased up off me because a lady had seen me putting shit in my bag, me not knowing that she saw me and went up there. She didn't say anything to me. She went up to the register. The register ain't sent it to nobody. I mean, the people at the register ain't sent it to nobody. They end up calling the police, giving the police a description of what we had on. So as we got in the car, the police come riding behind us, turn on their lights. We ain't stopping. Like, man, fuck was in the backseat because we had polish in the back seat, but that wasn't even including what the fuck was in the trunk. Mind you, we selling the polish $2 per polish. You know how little polish is? The whole back seat full, the whole trunk full. Like we was one day. We wanted to make that 10,000 in one day for real. So we fucked around and put the police on the chase or whatever. But they end up catching us. So at the mix us putting the police on the chase, we throwing the polish out as we go. But it still wasn't enough. They still caught so much shit on us, man. So we end up getting cased up in West Palm Beach. Stagey had a warning in Broward. Stagey had a warning in Broward. I had just got on probation for a new case that I had just picked up from with Bessie. So
This is one of those moments when they talk about greed. She was getting so much money, and her man was like, "Just sit down. Like you don't gotta do this. I can take care of it." And still, she saw the money signs, and that's what I'm hearing about her story in general. She keeps getting in these situations because of the money. It's like if your kids are taken care of, you're providing for your mama, your man's doing better. Why keep on risking your freedom?
No comment.
Torn hurry up and bond me and Ollie out. So by me being on probation, I'm not able to go to court or report that next month because they're gonna keep me either way it go because I violated probation. So now we back on the run. So now I'm back on the run and I found out I'm pregnant. I found out I'm pregnant maybe three weeks after that, after I got out of jail. So I found out I'm pregnant and I'm asking Torn, I'm like, I'm telling him like I don't really want the baby. Like I don't feel like it's the right time. And not Torn getting big headed because he getting a little money. And I'm fighting this case. So he was like, yo, listen, this like he said his demands. He was like, either you had a baby and I go through this shit with you, get you a lawyer and get you out as fast as I can, or I could get you the abortion and you fight that shit on your own. Mind you, after everything I had done been through with him getting shot and everything, that's the demand that he gave me. So I never really like agreed to having a baby. I just stuck around and didn't ask for the abortion money no more. So with that being said, I didn't get caught until I was like 6 months pregnant. I got caught twice. The first time I ran from the bounty hunters, they put me in handcuffs and I ran pregnant. Got away. I was in some bushes. Torn jumped in the car and came and got me. And um, we went to the house or whatever, to another house. Maybe like during that time, I was going from house to house. I was going to my auntie Nadine house. Me and her have the same name. I was going to my auntie Nadine house. I was sleeping on her floor. I'm big and pregnant. Um, Torn couldn't really do too much because the bounty people was watching him and every move he made. So he couldn't really come get me. We couldn't really stay in hotels 'cause it was bad. So I had ended up just getting caught. I ended up getting caught. They ended up taking me to West Palm Beach. I end up he got the lawyer. He did exactly what he said he was gonna do. When they booked me in, he got the lawyer. The lawyer came and seen me maybe like 3, 4 days into me being in there. He was like, okay, we're gonna go to court such day and we're gonna offer credit time served. West Palm Beach took the credit time served for the lawyer. Okay, bam, now I'm getting shipped to now I'm like on my 27th day being in jail. I'm shipped today. Cornell hired Michael Alexander. He hired Michael Alexander. Michael Alexander get me out, no probation, no nothing. Now I'm scot free. That made my 32nd day being in jail. So I was in jail for 32 days at that time. So I got out to me hearing that Torn was dealing with this girl and that girl or whatever the case may be, but I was good in jail. Not only that, Julia's third baby mama was trolling me bad, like real bad. So I had to go take a bath, y'all. So this is part 9. So yeah, so she was trolling me real bad. Like, I wasn't following her when I got out. People was telling me and sending me stuff. So she was saying basically like, oh, do they still give pregnant girls to trays and so forth and so forth. I was cool with her trolling because I knew she was dealing with a fucking bum anyways. She just didn't know she was dealing with a fucking bum. I think she did know. She do. Let me correct that. She knew because she ended up going to jail, acting like she was acting like he was the breadwinner when she ended up going to jail. I'm hoping I got the story right. Because it ain't no beef for her right now, but I'm telling my story, so it is what it is. What I heard was she was working at I don't know, some place, and I guess she was getting people credit card numbers, sending shit to her house, and they was selling iPads and cell phones, which I knew for sure he was selling that type of shit because at one point, like I seen it, and I'm like, damn, this nigga don't even see if his kids want anything. Like this nigga is, yes, he's really that. So after all the trolling or whatever, me and her actually had a fight. I ended up posting her pictures. I think this is before I had my daughter. So I'm going back a little bit. I end up posting her flyer on my page on my Facebook, and I ain't say nothing. I just posted the flyer because I was gonna go to a party because like you keep trying to like. To me, it felt like she wanted the issue because I was like talking about him, but you wasn't never mentioned. Like she gave me that type that she just wanted to really be into something. So I made it her birthday. I posted a picture. Granted, she did pull up to my mama's house, She pulled up to my mama house. I wasn't there. She told my mama she was a client, which at that time I was doing hair like going to people's house and also doing hair at my mama house too. So she told my mama she was a client and she was there to get her hair done. So I was already on my way home. My mama ended up calling me like, you got a client here? I'm like, mama, ain't nobody shouldn't be there for me. But I ended up putting up anyways. I think I got in the house, but I noticed it was her. Went outside and we went to rumbling. When I saw we went to rumbling, she left with hickeys everywhere. Still to this day, she's still saying that that's not true, but it's true, and she know it's true. After that, after we had that fight, she was still like, cause she this type of girl. Like for some reason, she cannot be humble to save her life. I don't know right now, but I don't follow her. Like then I wasn't following her. So I would only see what people would tell me, that I would only hear the things that people who was around her circle was tell me. Like people was in her circle was telling me shit. And to me, it seemed like this bitch can't be humble to save, this girl can't be humble to save her life. I don't want them to block my sound out. So yeah, we end up fighting. She end up starting to bully the second baby mama harder, because now you can't bully me. Like it is what it is. Like we gonna meet up, we gonna do whatever. Like until then, like cut it. Like I don't want to hear about it no more. So that's exactly what it was. So time went on, time went by, she was still like say like little subliminal like, oh, Julius take care of my baby, so I don't care who he don't take care of. They say, you know what I'm saying? You reap what you sow. So, hey, granted, he was not doing anything for me or his second baby mama kid. Nothing, not a pair of shoes, not nothing. But they would, people would send me stuff. They would post like wads of money, and the people who she was calling her friends at the time that was telling me stuff like, oh, such and such, this 10,000 dad, and drop this and drop that, and so forth and so forth. But around that time I was hearing other, like it was very mixed emotions about my baby daddy, like not emotions with him, but like stuff that was going on. Because I hear like, oh, they stayed with their grandma, they sleeping in the car, then it'll be something else. So it was kind of like weird. I didn't put too much thought into it. I ain't really care for her because I already seen who she was, and that's just what it was. So I never really bugged him about anything. I just, for all these years, I just took care of my kids on my own. So fast forward now, like I told y'all, my first baby daddy, third baby mama, and my second baby daddy, second baby mama, now they hanging together or whatever. They in cools. Hey, toodles. So I had done start hearing this stuff, but I was brushing off like, man, I ain't on that, man. Them hoes. So that's what it was, and that's what it is. After a while, Eddie ended up like literally like cutting ties. Like Eddie wasn't doing anything anymore for Dad. Um, Eddie's second baby mama would post, oh, he did this for her daughter, and that and such for her daughter. But he wasn't doing for my son. So it was cool. I was already like adapt to like niggas like not doing. So I'm a stand-up mom. So I was doing on my own. It wasn't really nothing, because I made sure that they didn't want for anything and they didn't feel the lack of any father. So that didn't bother me till after a while. It had done going on now, quote unquote, he don't do anything for her child now. So now we supposedly both in the same boat or whatever. Okay, boom. I end up having my daughter.
This is exactly why that baby mama shouldn't have been saying nothing. Because if a man already showed you that he won't take care of one kid, it's only a matter of time that he's not going to take care of the other kid. Like how you treat your children, it shows a lot. So I don't know. This is like one of those things where it's like how you get them is how you lose them. You can't think, oh, I'm better, so I'm not going to get that treatment. It's literally only a matter of time.
Man, I don't know what women some women expect. Is this the person you chose? What did you expect, man? Like you was being bought from the beginning. There's no loyalty in this. Y'all are literally just playing a street game at this point.
Torn ended up violating probation because he tested dirty for heroin. If you ever dealt with heroin, if you touch it, be around it, it's in your pores. If you pee it, you're gonna test it. So he ended up testing dirty for heroin. So they gave Torn I think 8 months or 9 months in jail or whatever. So Tom was in jail before I even had my baby. I had my baby on my own. I did
Tone did more than just touch it. That's BS. Tone was doing the damn drugs. Why we lying now? Just go ahead and just keep it 100. That man was on drugs, just like the last man, just like the man before that, just like the man before that. All your men are on drugs. Are you on drugs?
end up slightly leaving money in the hospital, but I went back and got her. When I first had our money, I really didn't want her. I didn't want her the whole pregnancy. I didn't really want to deal with Torn. Torn was very abusive. He was a good provider, but overall he was very abusive. He do know how to make you feel good. Like he know how to make a girl feel good to a certain extent. Torn was obsessed with a lot of girls. Torn needed to be with a lot of girls, and I ain't really want to, you know what I'm saying, affiliate with myself like that for a whole another 18 years. So, fast forward, I end up having our money. Torn got out when our money was like 7, 8 months. So around this time, I'm working in the flea market with a lady named Treese. So I'm working for her. That's how I actually learned how to become a good hairstylist. I learned that a good hairstylist doesn't only mean you doing hair good. It's mean you showing up, you on time. You know what I'm saying? She showed me the value, like the value of customer service, outside of the money. So to this day, I still use those techniques. Like I'm never late. I'm on time. You know, come in on time. Such and I pick all that up from her, and thank God for that. So I worked with her for a few years or whatever. So at some point I started branching out on my own for real. So I started taking on my own serious. So I had done got the little while Tom was in jail, I had done brought me a little Kobo, a little black Kobo, a little car. So I was like, you know what, I want to start, like, I want to see how good it could get. You know what I'm saying? So that happened. You know what I'm saying? It actually happened. So I had stopped hustling in the street. I wasn't finished fucking for money, but I wasn't doing it like as heavy as I was. Like if they numbers was up there like in the thousands, then I was fucking with them. And there was a few niggas paying that for real. But a lot of them wasn't, so it wasn't like I wasn't doing it like heavy like that or whatever. So so I end up taking the hard route. I end up actually like trying to take the hair shit serious. I went to I had got a car. I brought all the tools I needed. I didn't really know how to do hair that good. This was before Janae and them had got older. So I was going to people's house doing their hair. And I was making okay, I was making a living. I was still able to take care of my kids. I was still able to like, help around my mama's house because at this time I had to move back with my mom because Tom was in jail and I had just had a baby, so I couldn't stand to be out there on my own like that or whatever. So I had to move back with my mom. It only made sense. So the hair thing is going okay, and I had to end up working in a girl shop. I'm not gonna say her name, but her shop was on 62nd behind the McDonald's on 7th Avenue, 6th Avenue. I ended up working in there, and at first it was perfect because it was only me and her for a long time. But when she started like opening up to other girls, it had became like trouble because my baby daddy was end up messing with one of the girls' friends that was working in there. So this part 10, I'm gonna try to get everything out while I can. I told y'all it's like a 30-part series, so you just gotta bear with me. So my baby daddy was messing with the girl who was associated with the girl who was working in there. So it had just became a ongoing annoying situation. Like when I won't be there, they would be talking about me, discussing the issue with my baby daddy or whatever. And I had told the owner, which is the girl who I was working there with by myself when it was just me and her, she really didn't give a fuck. I'ma say that it kind of was like a something to do for her for real. So she didn't really care. So at some point I'm like, what I do now? Do I like step up? Like do I get back in beast mode or do I just allow it and let it play out? So I did just that. I let it play out. Around this time, I had done told Twan that I wanted my body done. So after I had our money, I didn't really feel too much good about myself. So, like I said, y'all, Twan get money. So Twan got my body done. Twan got my body done. And I felt like that put a harder, more insecurity on him. So I felt like he was trying to do things so that when if he was to find out I was doing anything, it won't hurt him as much because he already doing him. So I had done found out about the girl he was messing with. She was hanging with one of she was hanging with a girl who stayed in my sister apartment building, two of them, but one of them was a good friend who literally, like, when I told y'all years ago, like, all my friends used to dress up, have all the shoes. She was one of them. So, like, when I kind of synced it, it kind of gave, like, damn, like, this what we on. And it gave that, but deep in my heart, I already know, like, how to play it cool. I already knew, what was really good. However, so I had heard that he had flew her to Vegas. I heard that he flew the girl to Vegas or whatever. I found out why Twan was in Vegas. I'm thinking Twan in Vegas on an all boys trip, but I had got a phone call, something totally different. So mind you, the whole time while he had done talking to the girl, he got the girl watching my baby. I didn't know. I didn't know of her. I didn't know of her till like um months later, but he had done brought me a Volvo. Torn had done got out. I told y'all Torn get money. Torn had done got out. After he got my body done, he had done brought me a silver Volvo. So after he brought the Volvo, he ended up asking me, can he go on a boys trip? And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. He went on the trip. I found out why he was on the trip, that he had done flew the girl out there with him or whatever. So I called him. I'm like, okay, this what we on? Bet. So the whole time he on the trip, I ain't answering his phone. He keep calling me. I ain't answering. I'm on demon time. I'm sitting here really trying to think out, like, how I'm gonna do this, like what I'm gonna do, like, and how I'm gonna do it. So we end up getting into a fight, and he end up leaving his phone. So she called the phone. No, 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 I'm lying. I called her phone from his phone. And when she heard my voice, she hung up. It was nothing that she stopped answering the phone, nothing. So now I know. Now I know what's going on. I still ain't never said nothing to her. I still ain't never had no pressure with her. I called her trying to get my baby from her because she had my baby. So of course, kudos, she gon' they taking it as a joking matter. Oh yeah, that bitch, like, she on that type of time. Like, oh, she caught me, and now she want everybody to know her and Torn messing with each other. So hey, it's your birthday. You got them. I'm finna show you, like, you know what I'm saying? So I gave it to him for a little bit. I had end up coming into like a little money issue. So you already know. I let him back. I let Twan back. Twan fixed the money issue, and then I end up just getting irritated with him because I still heard that he was messing with the girl. You feel me? So I was like, yo, just going on. So I told him to leave or whatever. Of course he went back with her or whatever. So at this time, he ain't paying the car note on the Volvo, and neither am I. So they came and repoed the Volvo. So I'm messing with a married man. Now I'm messing with a married man. And I gotta say, I hate talking about it because that had to be a very, very rough time in my life. Um, but like I said, y'all, I'm here to tell my story, and I'm gonna give it to y'all 100%. So I was messing with a married man. I knew he was married. Yes, I did. I knew he was married. I hate that I did it, but I did. So I was messing with a married man. At that time, we vibing real heavy, we vibing good. He ended up leaving his wife. Which I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I really liked him like that because he was getting a lot of money in the Grove. So it's like, I mean, I know how to pick them that get a little money. So long as you getting some money, I could work with you. I don't care what circumstances you got going on. I could work with you.
And that was the last thing a victim ever said. Like, what the fuck? Like, this don't even make sense. This is why you are a victim. You're not. Oh my goodness. As long as you're getting money, you can beat me. You can be a deadbeat to your children. You can do drugs. I'll do them with you. As long as you're getting money, we're good. YOLO. Man, where are your kids? This is like really starting to irritate me at this point. I started out with sympathy, you know. I tried, right? I gave her some chances to speak on it. But again, I don't hear any remorse. Like, damn, do you feel bad for the things you've done at least? It just seems like, oh, it was a good time. I had a wild life. Like, this is wild. It makes me question, what are you doing today as a 37-year-old woman? Like, what's going on today? This is crazy, man. Pray for her kids at this point. No offense, but if you're out here, you're doing everything but being with your children at this point. Like, married men, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked that this man was married, of course. Like, this is what you get, man. This is truly, you're a victim of your own situation.
My thing is, she has so many baby daddies. You can't beef with every female they come in contact with. Because, girl, it seems like you'd have been with everybody. You gonna have beef with the whole world. So it really doesn't surprise me that you got some beef in your work area. Because, look, you messing with people that live in the same buildings as certain people. It's like you want to get caught. At this point, is it a thrill?
Yeah, you got more name. This is first story time that I can't keep up with the names. I don't know who is who anymore. Just call them baby daddy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nigga 10. Nigga 11. Like I don't even care for names no more. It'd make it way easier if you just put numbers behind their ass at this point because this is the NBA starting lineup with this many baby daddies. Goodness, girl, you got enough kids to start a team.
So time had ended up going by. I had found out the nigga who I was messing with in the Grove had another girlfriend in the Grove. So with that being said, it was just a lot going on, and he just had started to be too much. Like, he had started to be like aggravating. So eventually we end up parting ways. When we end up parting ways, I end up like going through like mental drought. So the mental drought I was going through, it was really, really hard. I think I cried every day. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, it wasn't about no girl, or it was more about me. Like, I kept asking God, like, if you don't want me with these type of men, why you keep bringing them my way? And
Called free will. That's all I'm gonna say. Free will doesn't mean God doesn't love you and God doesn't hear your cries. It's just that it's easy for the devil to play with you because you're not really. You could tell you're not really in God's word. Let's just be real. As a person who struggles himself daily with walking with Christ, I can say that sometimes this is when the devil can attack you the most. You choosing these men. You just want men with money. In the Bible, it says the love of money is the root of all evil. If you're reading your Bible and you understanding your Bible, then you understand that God has been warning you of these situations this whole time, but you just blindly say, well, I need the money. So don't blame this on God. This ain't God's fault. This is you. It's free will.
for some reason, God would not answer me. And let me make it clear, I had a relationship with God. I have a relationship with God still to this day. So I was going through like a little bad mental breakdown on my own. I started losing a lot of weight. So at that time, I was staying a little far distance or whatever. So man, the married man had got into a fight. At the time, I had torn blocks. So now I'm at a point where I'm not being a really good mother to my last daughter. So I'm not being a really good mother to my last daughter. I would leave her with Torn for months. I had his phone number blocked. He couldn't call me. He couldn't text me. If something was wrong with the baby, I wouldn't know him. It was basically Torn was being a dad and her godmama was being a mom, because the baby went from Torn to the godmama to the Torn. But the godmama had a probably more than anybody, but Torn was making sure that his daughter was okay. And still through everything, through all of that, like me going with whoever I was with, Twan was still making sure that my kids was okay. So me and the married man had got into a real big fight. He left me. He left me on County Line Road on the corner. I was just crying. I was crying. Just so happened Twan kept calling. He kept calling like 10 times. And I was like, what the fuck? This is what he wants. So I end up answering, and we've been together for so long till he know my voice. Even though my voice is squeaky, he know when I'm crying. So he was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, nothing, what happened? Something wrong with money? He was like, no, I'm calling to talk to you. And I'm like, Twan, I can't talk right now, man. I don't feel like dealing with you today. Like, I can't do it. He was like, well, when do you feel like dealing with me? And I'm like, I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with you. I just want you out my life. You and that fucking baby out my life. So at this time, I just wanted him to take the baby and they go. But Torn just, I don't know, he was like a tick. He just would not let go. So he ended up Torn ended up sending somebody to come get me from where I was, and they dropped me off the Torn. So Torn ended up getting a hotel. Me and Torn ended up sleeping together that night. I don't know what it was, but it was a different type of hole like that night. Like we ain't had been together for months. Like, but it was a different type of hole. Like I don't know if it was like he felt like the fight in me dying. I don't know what it was, but he hold me different. So I had ended up telling him like, because I had to moved out of my mom's house at that time. So I didn't tell him like I'm finna just go stay by my mom. So he was like, man, yo, just go find somewhere to stay. He was like, yo, listen, I'm in a situation where I can't just get up and leave this person who I'm with because I got money there, I got drugs there. Like it's a lot going on there, and it's very beneficial to me there. So once you get you a place and I'm gonna pay for it, I figure it out after that. So after he had explained to me, his circumstances or whatever, I was cool with it because I didn't want him back. I just, needed to get myself together. I really didn't want to take his money because I knew for a fact taking his money would come with other problems. But at that time, I ain't really want to go back home to my mama for real. I did end up going back home to my mama, but I wasn't really there for too long because that night I left, that morning, me and Twan woke up from the hotel. Like 2 days later, 3 days later, he ended up dropping me off a few $1,000s to go find somewhere to stay. So in the mix of, if like moving was pretty hard. Like it was kind of hard to find somewhere when you don't got no proof of income or nothing like that. So my best friend, still my best friend now, shout out to her. My best friend was staying in these apartment buildings. So she was like, friend, shit, the nigga like the owner, like he not the owner, the manager was like cutthroat, like you got the money, you can move in. So I was like, okay, cool, but I don't want nobody to know I'm staying here. She was like, friend, they low key. So she ended up calling the man for me. He ended up showing me the place, and it was a few more things needed to be done. So he was like, just give him another week and I could move in. So with that being said, I end up going to a football game with this dude, but I end up getting dressed at my friend's house, which was over town. And so the rumors start floating that I was staying with my friend. So once the rumors start floating that I was staying with my friend, I end up getting a phone call. So now after Torn gave me the money, I blocked him again. He ain't did nothing wrong this time. Torn actually for the first time let me know really what was up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I blocked him because I ain't really wanted it for real. So he gave me the money, I ended up blocking him. So he ended up calling me private. But mind you, I was messing with this other boy from out the city. So I'm thinking that's him calling. So I answered the phone and he like, oh, you bum ass bitch. You staying with somebody, this and this and that and this. So now I unblocked him. I hurry up and unblocked him. And I posted my keys, my place, my house furnished out, all that. Like, so he angry, he furious. So he's so furious. We going back and forth. Now, mind you, around this time, the nigga who I'm messing with stay in the same building that my baby daddy was messing with somebody in that building too. I don't know who stayed in the building that he was messing with, but I was coming out and my baby daddy was going in. He didn't see me, but I seen him. So after he talking all his crap, I'm letting him know, like, nigga, you could be touched at any time. You were just at such and such building at such and such time. Like, stop slipping, yo. And he probably trying to figure out like where I know that from, but he don't know that I'm messing with somebody who's staying in the building too.
This is crazy. Like women like this, like no offense, but y'all gotta stay away from women like this. They are the reason why a lot of men are passing away. Like you're bringing all this. First of all, you got more men than I can even count. I'm not gonna lie to you. We didn't probably even have to know about all these men. We could have just kept the story. I forgot honestly what the fuck this story is even about anymore. What is this story overall about? I forgot. But, at the end of the day, man, it's like you need therapy. Let's just cut to the root cause. It's sad to the point that you can't even spend 24 hours alone to even cope with the stuff you've been through and the stuff you've done, to the point you just male centered. You need to be under a man every time another man leaves. And it's like, it's sad, honestly. I feel bad for her. Even when she said like, "Oh, I don't want to be with you and that baby," that's depression. That's depression. And I know she only saying that out of a depressed state, but I'm questioning whether or not, how well are you involved in those other children's lives? You cut off one child, you would cut them all off. Let's be for real. When you started giving your children away to all these, and I'd rather them be with the fathers, but if the father's on drugs and the father's one on the streets, it's like you're being irresponsible for money and you're actually sitting here having children with these people, knowing that they're in the streets, knowing that they do drugs, and like, how can I sit here and try to believe that you're a great mother and that you care about your child? I can't. I grew up with a mother like this. They always look good to the people around them. Oh, I do what I can. I send them money. Your grandma exposed the same thing I was thinking. All you do is drop off clothes and get up out of here. You think that's parenting? You think that qualifies you as a great parent? Like, for real, you saying like, "Oh, grandma was being tough on me and I need to hear that," then you need to hear this. You need to get your shit together. I don't know if this is you today, but if this is you today, we halfway through this story time, and if I haven't seen any or heard anything that sounds like life is even close to changing. Other than the fact that you started going to church, and other than the fact you tried to get a job, you trying to keep it together, but you never took your feet out the streets. It's like, I don't feel bad for people like this, because it's like you have no fight in you. Really, like, you try a little bit, but then you give up immediately. It's like you don't even take in consideration that you have children, and that's the reason you should be doing this for. You just doing this for what? This don't make any damn sense.
But yeah, to the man that she's dealing with, it's like, imagine having an op that you don't even know. Why would you tell him where the baby daddy, where you seen him at, if that's where your man stay and you be over there?
She like drama.
I'm just trying to figure out, why does everybody always live in a vicinity of someone you know?
Right. Why are you fucking everybody in the same group? Like, this is pathetic, bro. I'm not even trying to be funny, or I don't know. I don't care how it comes off at the end of the day. A young woman watching this story time should know that this is pathetic. You could be doing a lot better with your time in your life, but you choose to. If Magi, she didn't have a felony until she started stealing, but up until that point, she was able to go to work. She was able to get a job. She had a mother that would watch her child. She had supervised visits for her baby. Like, she had someone doing everything. She had no children. She still running around, I feel like, with no children. Because where are these children at while you're mixing and matching between hotels and over here with other men, and you just sleeping with everything that's walking? And that's why I say you need therapy. You clearly have a sex addiction. You have a separation anxiety. Don't let me get to throwing stuff out there. Just go see a therapist and let them tell you, or a doctor of some sort, and let them tell you what they feel based off of, I spent a lot of time with therapists growing up in my life, so I can already damn near predict the approach they're going to take when it comes to this. It's just, you got to take accountability at the end of the day. This is nobody else's fault but yours at this point. You're grown. You're a grown woman. You stopped telling us your age after 18. I wonder why. Because now you're probably 22, 23, 24. No telling how old you are making these same damn mistakes. It's like, at what point do we stop blaming mommy and daddy and start saying, okay, this is my fault. My kids don't deserve this shit at all. But let's listen.
So the next day he ended up, I think he was sick or something, but the next day he ended up calling me, apologizing, was like, he was just a little hurt. You feel what I'm saying? I'm sending him, I didn't post it, I sent it to him. I'm sending him keys and the house furnish starter, and we agreed that when I move, I let him know or whatever. So I was honest. I went to being back honest. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the damage is done between me and you. Like, I could take you cheating, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you going too far with it. And I'm going to respect that. Do you. I ain't trying to step on your toes. Do you. And I don't want to come in between that. And at some point I did felt like he was kind of unhappy, not because of what he said to me, but it was because, like, everywhere I went at, somebody, like, it's like anybody who would give Torn a listening ear, he was talking about me. Bam. Okay, good. So now, I go to feeling, I ain't know I'm not, I ain't feel sorry for him. Me and my friends, we end up going to Houston. So mind you, I still ain't get our money back for real. So mind you, it was my time to get our money, but my flight book, I'm gone. So we end up going to Houston. I end up parlaying real bad. Me and my best friend and my other friend and her sister. And I had done messed around and got my first train ran to me. But we in Houston, like, who cares? Like, we having fun. So he end up kept calling. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get her when I get back. Or if you can't wait, drop her off to my mama or whatever. So bam, we end up getting back home. I had made like $4,000 off that train. That I think it was. Hold on, wait. It was okay. Originally, it was four boys. It was four boys, but one of the boys really wanted my best friend. So it ended up being three boys, but I made 4,000. So I ain't really care. And I was single. I don't care. I was single. So we end up coming home from Houston. I end up unpacking my bag. I finally got our money. Now I got our money. I had end up blocking Torn because rent due now. Rent due now. I don't want to pay my money. I do got my little 4K, but I'm sitting on it like just in case, you know what I'm saying? I had to get Janae a oil change, which I had brought Janae her first car at 15. So I was making my little money, you know what I'm saying? I was doing my little thing. I wasn't like down like money issues. It was really like me trying to like really figure out or whatever. So I was like, damn, I gotta do a little too much. I don't really want to pay this rent. So anything I ain't wanted to do, it was time for me to unblock Torn. So I unblocked Torn. Of course, he called the same day I unblocked him. It's like he would call my phone every day to see if he unblocked. Now you unblocked. So I unblocked them and we talked and I told him that I need some money and he gave me some money. He ended up paying the rent on his own. So this the second month I'm there. Ever since the second month on out, me being in that apartment building, I never touched the rent again. Torn established the rent. Torn made his own establishment with the rent man. So the rent man never came to me anymore for rent. Torn paid the rent after that ever since. So after that, we call ourselves getting back together, y'all. Money turning 2 years old. We called ourselves getting back together. We on a trip. We took three girls, including money. It was like four of them all in total to Disney World. Nobody mom had to pay for nothing. They didn't have to pay for no shoes, no clothes, no drawers. All they had to do was make sure their daughter had their hair done. And that was it. We had everything they needed and we went to Disney World. So while we at Disney World, we had a good time. We stayed in Disney Suite. Money met Cinderella, all of them, like they had a breakfast. We had breakfast with Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast and all of them. We did that. Disney World was actually a vibe. At some point, I think we both noticed that mentally we both was far gone. And when we got home, he ended up, nobody knew that me and Tom was supposed to quote unquote be back together. When we got home, Tom posted a picture of me, of the kids and him and me in the picture. And that just went to spiral. So I'm back at square one where I started from. I was okay with being a mystery girl because I mean, call it what you want. Long as ain't nobody know I was dealing with him, I was all right with that because the money was coming in. But if I would have knew the type of money he was making, I would have been waxing him twice as hard. So we had ended up parting ways when we got from Disney World. He still ended up posting a picture with me in there, which was so embarrassing for me. I hated it. He wouldn't take it down. Okay, boom, we part ways. He ended up going back with the girl, but now it's not just her, it's her, another girl, and him. So I guess they all in a relationship or whatever. So I don't know much about that relationship. I just for sure knew that when he was with the both of them versus then the girl by herself, when he was with the both of them, this is the I'm talking about, this is the most that Twan ever gave me in our entire relationship. Literally, like, I don't know what, like, I don't know if they just made him happier, or he just knew that he fucked up so bad so he was never getting back with me. So he was just like, I'm gonna just keep her in my corner as long as I can until she like ready to walk away. I can't really tell you what it is. He would just really be consistent on, and I'm gonna be honest. I said I'm gonna be honest. When we finally got to that place where we was talking, because now we cool. Now we cool, me and him being friends. I asked him, I was like, how is it? Like, I'm curious. And he was like, I don't like the red one. I like the black one more. And I was like, okay. So hey y'all, this part 12. So I did have to take a break. I found myself getting teary-eyed because I did say I was gonna be honest. So now it's gonna start to get personal about my kids. I did get the okay from them, so they okay with me talking about it. So here it goes. So now Janae had ended up totaling her Kia, her green Kia. She had got for her 16th birthday. She ended up totaling that, and my engine ended up with going out on my car. So now I feel like doesn't matter what I had done. I was keep getting knocked back down. Like I couldn't stay up. Like I just kept getting knocked back down. But I get back up. But for some reason, I just kept getting knocked back down. So now of course I gotta unblock 20 again because I don't have no car. I gotta get ready to get our money, and I don't really want to be bothered with our money because I ain't got no car to drop our money after school. So I had unblocked them, and I had told him what was going on. He knew about the car getting totaled, but he still thinking that I got my other car and my engine had ended up going out. So he ended up sending me a text message. Once I told him about the car, he ended up sending me a text message, asking me did I have any money, and I was like no. And he was like the next day, he never wrote me back after that. The next day he ended up sending me address, and he was like, come meet me here or whatever. So my best friend ended up dropping me off to the address. It was a car lot. They already had a black Benz out there waiting for me to test drive. I test drove it. I told him I didn't want a Benz. I felt like he was trying to coax me in his little parlay thing he had going on, and I didn't want to. Like, just keep me on my own little area. So I end up, he saying, okay, is there any other car you like? You see you like? And this was in 2019, and they had a 2018 Max out there. So I picked the Silver Max. I was like, I'll take that. So the man let me test drive it. I like how it drove. Came back. He gave the man a bag of money with his driver license. I stayed because I had to sign. The man let me forge torn signature on there. So I'm signing all the papers or whatever. He ended up coming back because he had to get his license. But when he came back, he brought me the new iPhone that had just came out, and he had brought me some flowers. Um so it was really kind of getting hard because for real, like if he could have literally been the perfect guy for real, if he just, you know what I'm saying, could be, truthful with himself, and more honest, and everything was like kind of like everything was good, but everything was really kind of like bad too, because I'm like, damn man, like I'm on my fourth child, I ain't got no baby daddy, like I'm back single, you know what I'm saying, like just fighting, you know what I'm saying? Fighting real emotions and shit. So at first I thought all my problems had revolved around money, but it was really revolved around like me just really trying to be a good mother for real. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like me only worrying about hustling, worrying about making sure the kids had a roof over their head, worrying about all that. Like I had to start missing out on my daughter. I had to start missing out on basketball games, meetings, and some for I was kind of really happy that I wasn't making it to a lot of meetings because I really didn't know how to read like so well. My best friend. So my daughter didn't make me feel no kind of way. Anything that I didn't understand, my daughter would help me like understand, or she'd just be like, "Ma, I got it." And it hurted the most because my baby wouldn't really involve me and a lot of school stuff because she knew the situation that I was in, like with the learning stuff or whatever. So she didn't really involve me in much. She'll just handle it on her own. Like any paperwork need to be done, she'll do it. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of like started to take a wedge in me for real. But overall, I'm kind of grateful that, you know what I'm saying, I allow her to see everything that I went through. You know, I'd allow her to experience the bad and experience the good with me. So she understand, man. So sorry y'all. With that being said, I had done it was 2019. I had a guy in 2018. He had bought me in 2018. So at the time, you know how when you get something that's, you know, so like, you know, you can't even really enjoy it. Like that's how I felt. You feel me? I kept praying. I had started like back to like seeking God. I had started back to praying. And it kind of hit before another loop because I had ended up finding out that Janae was gay. So I found out Janae was gay. Janae told me on her own. Um, Probably months later, maybe like a year later, she ended up telling me like Poppy was gay or whatever. So, as a mother, I'm feeling like it's my fault. I'm feeling like, you know, I failed them. I'm feeling like everything that you could feel like as a worst mom. I felt that, you know what I'm saying? I felt that, and I love my kids. I do, you know what I'm saying? I love them more only because, you know what I'm saying, I feel like, you know, the smaller ones are getting slightly a better version of me. But I feel like, you know, Nene and Poppy got the real me. You know, they got the uncut me. You know what I'm saying? They got the me that they watch me, you know, go through a lot. So, you know, people still to this day try to figure out our relationship, and our relationship is unexplainable. You know what I'm saying? And I'm honest. Like if anybody know me, they know I'm very, very honest. I'm very truthful. I live in my truth. Whether whether it's the worst for me, whether it's the best for me, I live in that truth. So I'm okay with the outcome. Like at least I told my truth. So on top of me finding out that I'm sorry, y'all. On top of me finding out that both of my kids was gay, now I gotta go back to dealing with their dad. Now they dad, like he all right with Janae, but he don't. At one point, he didn't want to be all right with Julius. You know what I'm saying? Being gay. So then they like, nah, like if you ain't cool with my brother, then I ain't cool with you or whatever. So then they stick it by her brother. So basically, I'm just telling my kids, like, you know, I hate to say it, but this what comes, you know, with that lifestyle. You know, you get more hate than you get love. So I just made sure like I poured into my kids. Poppy was very, very to himself. Like Poppy really didn't talk to me much. So I feel that Poppy went through a rougher stage than he had to because I feel like he didn't trust anybody. Like I told y'all, my mama really raised them for real. You know, they know me because I was around. I made sure they was good, but my mama really raised them for real. So I felt honestly, I just felt like Poppy felt like he didn't have a friend in me. I felt like my son couldn't tell me nothing. It was stuff that I was learning about and I was hearing it through the streets. You get what I'm saying? Or then they would have to tell me certain stuff. So that shit was breaking me down a little worse than I like to admit. But overall, when I stop and I think to myself, I ask God, you know, give me the wisdom and knowledge to look at my kids through their eyes, not through, you know, what they like, who they like, you know what I'm saying? And from then on, like I started just once I opened up to him, you know, my darkest secrets, you know, my toughest moments, he started to open up to me. It took longer, but he did. He started opening up to me like at the last minute. Then they been telling me everything. Then they tell me everything. She don't care. She gonna tell me. So once I started to allow Poppy to get to get the red in me in my heart, he started to slightly open up. Yeah, so now that I open up the puppy, he's opening up to me and our bond is getting better. And it had to get better through all the hurt that he was going through, like with his father and stuff like that. So now I'm in vicious mode with Julius. I don't want my kids to really talk to him. I don't want my kids to have no dealings with him or nobody that who was around him or affiliate with him. But the kids was at that age where, they was still talking to certain people and still dealing with him at some point. And I couldn't really like be too mad about it. I had to just allow them to experience him for themselves. So I did that. Hey y'all, so we on part 13. So I found out my kids was gay, so forth and so forth. So now you know what I'm saying. Um so I found out my kids was gay. Then they end up getting really, really good in basketball. So they start like offering and they like scholarships in 11th grade. Like she ain't even had to wait to 12th. So they was already offering her scholarships in 12th, 11th grade. So I'm showing up at a little more games. So I'm still working. I'm still like doing hair on my own, trying to show up at games, still trying to be there for Dada at his games, showing up for money. And somehow Poppy kind of was still in the loop because he wasn't really into no sports or anything like that. Poppy hated school, he hated sports. He wasn't really into nothing. He did like track, but at some point he stopped doing that. So it was more like Poppy was just more like winging it. So it's like as I was working more, one of my coworkers, I was working at a shop, a different shop then. So one of my coworkers, clients had seen me and she was like, your son the life of the party. So I was like, whose son? Mind you, I didn't even know that my baby actually had a boyfriend. I didn't know that Poppy had a boyfriend then. She was like, your son, Chulo, right? And I was like, yeah. She was like, girl, that nigga, he be drunk. He the life of the party. So she noticed that my eyes got big and she was like, oh, I told on him. And I was like, no, it's okay. So I ended up stepping to him about it, like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? At first I didn't. I'm lying. At first I didn't step to him about it. I kind of like was like I said, now at that point, I ain't going to humans no more. The vent now, I'm venting to God. So I'm asking God, like, show me like what he doing. Like, man, y'all, I'm working like a dog. I'm trying to make sure like they never feel what I'm going through, what I went through. I just wanted my kids to be okay. So by me working like a dog, trying to help, that was a trouble kid because he kept getting in trouble. Janae, having games back to back, games out of town, such and such and such and such that, to I really wasn't really paying Poppy no attention for real. Like I say, he was very quiet or whatever. So I had end up moving. No, I'm moving too fast. Wait 1 second. My old boss had end up hitting me up and she was like, what you doing? What you doing around such and such time? So I was like, nothing. Why, what's up? So she was like, I want to go out of town, but I need a ally. I need somebody to go with me. So I don't like I'm going with the dude or whatever. So I was like, you want me to be a third wheel? So she was like, nah, his homeboy like you. He say he been like you. He been in your DM, but you don't never write back. So around this time, Torn had end up going to jail. They had end up taking Torn to jail. Torn didn't go to the feds at first. Torn was in county. So I had done told her, yeah, I'ma go. So they had set it up. So she was like, the boy say, give you his number. So I took his number and I never called him. She was like, probably a few days later. Now mind you, I'm not working with her anymore, but we still talking like often. So, she keeping me updated, let me know what's up with the trips. I was like, man, tell your nigga to make sure that nigga brings some money. You feel what I'm saying? And hold on. So once I said that, I guess her nigga told the dude what I said. So he was like, man, tell her don't trip. We ain't tripping off that. So I was like, okay, cool. So Torn had ended up going to jail. So now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about a babysitter or whatever. So I end up hitting her godmama up like, um, I want to go to Puerto Rico, but I ain't got no babysitter. Can you get the baby, such and such? And she was like, yeah. So I had done got me a babysitter, secure everything. So now I'm getting my clothes ready. So my homegirl had ended up calling me. Mind you, the flight ain't till like 11, 12 o'clock that morning, noon. She called me like 8 o'clock, like you up and you ready. I'm like, I'm still asleep. So honestly, at that time, I didn't really want to go for real. I was still like trying to figure like a lot of things out, you know what I'm saying? So I end up going. And when I got to the airport, all I seen was this really, really tall boy. And I'm like, damn, he big, but his back was turned and he had little wicks in his head. So they introduced us. They was like, legs, this, nay, this leg. So when I started talking to him, I'm like, what's your name? So he was like, my name Cornell. I like my name Nadine. So immediately when I met him, like it was like I don't know, it was a light on him that shines so bright. Oh my God. Like I absolutely like everything about him. I liked him. The only thing I hated was the clothes he had on, but his appearance, like, you know what I'm saying? He had a nice, pretty smile. He was big. He looked like he could handle me and everything that came with me. So, we end up chatting it up. She talking to her friend. I'm talking to him. So we waiting on our flight to board. So our flight end up boarding. We on a plane. We talked the whole way. You cannot tell me that like this wasn't my boyfriend. Like for this little few, it was a weekend stand. Like you know how you do a one night stand. This was a weekend stand or whatever. So we end up getting off the flight. Going on a little beach or whatever. So I was hot. So man, I had on a jacket with no bra, and I just got my titties done. So my titties done. So I took the jacket off. So I'm out there in Puerto Rico, titties out. I'm vibing and he cool. Like we vibing. We really, really vibing. So we end up getting back in the van, going to the hotel. We checked in the hotel. Now I'm talking to him like, he was like, he ended up saying, man, you ain't never see my DM. So I goes in with DM and I was like, oh, you wrote me. And I was like, oh, like, no, I ain't see it. I don't really check my DMs, my bad. And he was like, it's cool. So we talking to each other. He telling me, oh, he only got one daughter. His daughter stay in Georgia or whatever, such. And I was telling him, I was like, like, do you want to know the real me or do you want to just like know little like how many kids and stuff like that? So he was like, I like you, like, tell me about yourself, like what's up? So I was like, at first I only told him like, okay, I got 4 children, I got 4 children and my second son, I don't know who his daddy is, and such. I'm just giving him just the little bit. So that first day, we end up having sex. We end up having sex because, of course, that's what I went on the trip for. You pay for the trip. You sponsor me on the trip. You're gonna get your money worth. So we end up having sex or whatever. We a whole vibe. So the next day, he like, damn man, I like you. So I'm like, I like you too. So I'm like, let me see your phone. So he passed me the phone, like I'm talking about no hesitation, no nothing. He passed me the phone. He was chatting, of course, with a few girls, and nothing was too serious. So I was like, okay, so now his phone kept ringing. His phone kept ringing. So I'm like, what the fuck you do, sell drugs? He was like, something like that. Bam, he was up my alley. So yeah, I ended up finding out he sell drugs for a living or whatever. So I liked him overall. I was like, whatever. So I ended up telling him, like, I asked him where he was from. He had moved around a lot in his lifetime, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, when he was like, he used to stay over here, I'm like, hey, listen, let me be honest with you, if you really want to take me serious, like I done been around, like around. So, I done dealt with so many boys that I've been lost count maybe years ago. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just establishing that with you right now. So I guess he was cool. He was cool with it because it came from me. Like he ain't had to hear it from no one else. It came from me. So while we was on the trip, I knew I knew I liked him, but I didn't know if I really wanted to like really take him serious because I knew once I take him serious, I'ma really have to cut my baby daddy off because either I'ma cut my baby daddy off or my baby daddy gonna cut me off and I ain't gonna be able to get nothing from him no more. Hey y'all, so this part 14. I'm trying to get it over with before tonight over cause tomorrow I ain't gonna lie, I'm putting this behind me and I'm moving on. So, we leave the trip. I liked him. I told him everything. We come back. I was supposed to come to his house that the day that we came back, but I ended up not coming. I ended up not seeing him until like I'm gonna say maybe like a week later. I kept ducking and dodging him because I had to really figure out like, listen, if I take this route, you know what I'm saying? It's a possibility that if my baby daddy find out like I'm cut off, like, and potentially the kids could get cut off too. So like, what's up? So at some point, I was like, man, fuck that shit, man. So I end up going to his house, and long story short, I never left. Me and my fiance, which is he's my fiance now, we've been together ever since. So something ended up coming up. A girl that we all grew up with had ended up passing from AIDS. But the kicker is my baby daddy was messing with her at one point. Both of my baby daddies. Okay, so Tuan was messing with her at one point, and Marquise was messing with her at one point. So she had passed away from AIDS. So when she passed away, to be honest, I didn't know she had it. When she passed away, that's when everybody went to saying it, and I was like, for real, damn. So, like I keep telling y'all, I'm very honest. I had once I found out, I had to holler at my fiance. I'm like, babe, my baby daddy, my baby daddy's was messing with this girl. I don't know. I just want to get us clear. Like, let's just go get checked up. So we end up getting checked up. They end up taking our blood. Everything came back good. They told us to come back in 6 months. We came back in 6 months. Everything was still good. That next year we end up going again just to kind of like double check everything came back good. And I end up getting pregnant with my I had a s- I was pregnant with a son before this son. So that son, I found out I was a carrier for a disease that's called SMA. SMA. So SMA is a bone marrow disease. You inherit it through genetics. So at one point I couldn't understand because I'm like, damn, I got 4 kids. Like I ain't never heard of that. But whatever. They was like it skip generations, then it come and it does that. So they gave me so my baby was affected by the disease. He was paralyzed from the neck on down. He was gonna come out to be, if I was to proceed to have him, he was gonna be paralyzed for the rest of his life. He wasn't gonna live to see over 4 years old. And they kept like telling me like all the things, and basically they was gonna treat him like a guinea pig or whatever. So they gave me the option to either terminate the pregnancy or go through with the pregnancy and, you know, had a baby. So I decided not to go on with the pregnancy. They gave me a free abortion. I ended up getting an abortion. Um, we didn't get pregnant again to maybe about like a year later. A year later, we end up getting pregnant with baby Cornell. We end up getting pregnant with baby Cornell. Baby Cornell was like, it was kind of like a little rough pregnancy for real. It was more rough because believe it or not, like when I had done hit like maybe like I must say about 5 months. I hated Cornell. I hated Cornell with all my heart. I hated him. And I couldn't stand to be around him. So now we still together. We still staying in the same household, still sleeping in the same bed, but not talking for like 3 or 4 months. Me and Cornell didn't talk to after that photo shoot that we did with the baby. So we were still going to appointments together. He was still being a great father, a great stepdad, everything you could name, but we just wasn't verbally talking. We wasn't having sex. We wasn't talking. We was just laying next to each other. I just hated Cornell. I hated him. I didn't want to be pregnant anymore and that type of stuff. So being with Cornell really showed me the difference of being with a boy. So once I got with Cornell, truth be told, my baby daddy, and we just speak in all honesty, my baby daddy doesn't have money like my last baby daddy did. But I seen the difference. I seen the difference in a man and a boy. I literally don't like my baby daddy do not play like I don't have to squink weak or nothing about a bill. Like he don't care for material things for real. Like when we start talking, we both told each other what each other went through, and he understood. Like he didn't judge me. Still to this day, like he everything that I'm telling y'all, I'm able to come tell y'all because he been new. You get what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing nobody could see him where he gonna be like, oh, I ain't knew this. Like he know everything. So it's like he knew, and I think in his heart he told himself that I never want to hurt her like that again. You know, the with the pregnancy and everything, that's not speaking. It was more of me being angry with him, and I guess him not to kill me or knock me down. He just let me be for real. But I noticed a man from a boy. You know what I'm saying? I don't have cheating issues with my fiance. My fiance come home every night the same time. Like I'm just in, I don't know, I'm just secure. And sometimes I had start questioning like the relationship, like God, is this really what it is? Because I don't know, he had started like scaring me, like, hold on, like I'm used to a little cheating, just a little bit, like bitch, do something. So besides like issues with his family or whatever, other than that, me and him, we good. I actually felt real love. Not had to do with anything with money, nothing to do with materialistic things. I actually felt real love. And I ain't gonna lie, when we had baby Cornell, man, it felt like when we first met each other. When I tell you Cornell would touch me, like not even in no sexual way, like here, like you know what I'm saying? It's like the way he touched me, he was thanking me like for giving him life all over again. Like I'm talking about watching me push him out, like him holding me, like saying, push, baby, push. Now, man, we ain't talking. It was, man, damn, man. I felt like God heard me. And I just started finding God again. Like, and I start seeing God from the truth eye. Not only like, because God say he'll give you a rib. You know, if you don't read the Bible, you won't know what rib is, but he'll give it to you. So, I just started getting closer with God, and God blew my mind. I asked God to show me how good it can get, and I ain't gonna lie, it get better with time. Like it get better with time. My business is doing good. My husband is doing great. He not my husband yet. We not married yet. He's still my fiance, but I'm speaking that into existence. My husband is doing good. He loved my children, all of them. Never judged none of them. I mean, literally, like I don't know words. I can't put the feeling that how I feel about my fiance. I can't put that in no words that nobody would truly understand. You know what I'm saying? And to get somebody that know the worst of you, like the worst of you, and still look at you like it was something I seen in her that I knew it was worth. Like she was worth it. Like and that shows me enough that shows me enough that God loves me enough to still bless me because I thought it was over for me. I thought I wasn't going to never find anybody. I thought due to me, dealing with so many men, nobody would never want to be with me. And I found the love of my life and I love my man. I love my man with all my heart. I'm riding with my man, and we pray together. We find God together. Like when y'all see me up in the middle of the night praying, reading my Bible, he do it early in the morning. So by the time I went back to sleep, he be up like reading, open up his Bible. Like it's good when you find the grace of God within each other, and the house so peaceful. My kids don't have to hear fighting, banging on doors, kicking down doors, arguments. Like my kids don't experience that right now. My kids experience nothing but grace, like nothing but peace for real. Like so that's my story, and I hope you guys like it. See y'all later.
Well, I'm happy actually that I made it to the end of the video because at first, honestly, let me just explain myself a little bit. I feel like the reason why I have stronger takes when it comes to story times like this is because I have a child in me that's still clearly traumatized by what he's been through. And these type of situations are so similar. It's like listening to my mother explain her life, you know. It's like I'm assuming like maybe this is what she would say, but my mom was on serious drugs, as well. So I'm just more triggered, and I'm always looking at the perspective of the other child. Like, man, that first child had to grow because I'm one of the first. I'm the oldest boy, but the second child of my mother. But and I always feel as though like I'm just being replaced. I'm just being replaced with another child, and you just don't feel love during that time. So to hear her come back and actually show that remorse that I've been waiting to see and hear, it kind of switched my whole mentality again back to sympathizing with her and understanding where she's coming from. And at the end of the day, she found love. You know, it actually showed like this is the time I feel like God really shows who God is. This is why I'm just human. I'm just a flawed man. And thank God that our lives don't depend on how the judgments of us, of other humans. You know what I'm saying? God still shows that he's mighty after it's all said and done. Like it reminds me, and no offense, I don't mean to say this in a mean way, but this reminds me of the story in the Bible where it talks about the prostitute Mary and how Jesus showed so much favor to Mary even though everybody else was casting stones, wanted to stone her to death because she was considered a prostitute. Now, a prostitute back then was just being a woman who slept with men outside of marriage. It wasn't just multiple men. She was probably even being taken advantage of, but she would still be considered a prostitute in the time. So that's what I mean when I say that. And it just reminded me like the favor and the grace that Jesus showed Mary in that moment, in the tax collectors and everybody else. It just made you feel like, man, you can't turn your shoulders to people like this, to stories like this, because you just never know. This is the only time God can really show his love, show his power, show himself. It's like how can someone like this, right, end up in a situation where she's with a man? Not now, if she would have just been like, oh, we together and I got a man and it's all happy after, I probably would have been skeptical. But the fact that she found a praying man, once God enters a relationship, then I know it's free. You know what I mean? You either got to go through after a certain age, you got to go through a traumatic experience, or you got to go through, find God in order for me to believe that it's change happening here. You know what I'm saying? Because what's bound in this change to never go back to the same? And it's like, who's the better person to hold you accountable to give you that moral standard than God Himself? So I believe that this relationship may go farther than any relationship she's ever been in. And the fact that, and I just want to say this before I say anything else, I want to say this to the creator. I apologize if my take was a little strong in the beginning. Like I said, I'm just dealing with that own trauma myself. But I want to let you know that it doesn't matter how you start. It does matter how you start, but in this situation, don't get too caught up in how you started your relationship with your children. It's all about how you finishing at this point. Just being there for them, counseling them, and letting them understand the real you was more than my mother and my parents has ever done for me. I still got so many questions, but for you to be vulnerable enough to give this to your children without them having to constantly try to figure it out shows a lot about you. So thank you for being transparent because at the end of the day, it shows that, you know, things could get better. It can't be a happy ever after something like that. I wasn't seeing a happy ever after in the beginning of the story. I'm thinking this is about to be just a tragedy all the way to the end. I thank God that He gave me the strength to make it to the end of this story time. This was a 3-hour saga. And if you sat through this, thank you so much. And, sorry if I triggered you throughout the story time, but obviously I came back to my senses because it got better. She took ownership. She did exactly what I wanted to see. And it's like, okay, accountability, kids doing better, life, you got God in it. What else can a man ask for? So thank you for this story time, and I apologize for if I may have triggered you in a way throughout my responses.
Yeah, I love a happy ending. The fact that she wasn't even looking for love when she met this man, it's like there was no coincidence. This was all God's plan. The fact that, he already initially wanted to, get your attention, and now you guys are on a trip. You guys are very transparent. There's nothing more better than a relationship based on truth, because a relationship based on lies will never end up in a good way. But you found a man that is God fearing. You found a man that loves your children. He loves you. He sees a future with you. He done proposed to you. So all the things you went through, it amounted to this moment right here. And, I wish you nothing but the best. And the fact that you can be a better mother to your younger children, and, you feel remorse for the things that your other children went through, that's the start. So this is only
Yeah.
the beginning. I pray that your relationship and your marriage does nothing but prosper. The relationship with your kids do nothing but grow. And thank you for the story.
Yeah, you definitely healed a little trauma in me for sure. It gives me a little more hope in life when it comes to these type of situations, and I'll be more patient moving forward with y'all when it comes to like hearing these type of story times. But what do you all think? If y'all interested in following this creator for more updates on her life, y'all already know what to do. Check out the description box below where we will have her credited and linked. All right. But Messy family, if you made it all the way to the end of the story time, let us know in the comment section below. This was one of the ones we don't do these type of story times often, but I'm happy we did it. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Would y'all like more longer story times? Yeah, I know I'm real notorious for that. If y'all are into longer story times, make sure y'all check out that playlist as well attached to this video. But that's all. Hope y'all had a great day. Peace out.